All right, Bang Bang. Today is Monday. It is October 18th. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. Snake Draft Monday. Our guest is in studio visiting the city of Chicago. It's Captain Cott's third time.
Third time, yeah.
Third time, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited
Irish
for this
shit,
one.
which I won.
Yeah, that was I don't know. I don't know how I still feel about that one.
That was just the real Irish guys were getting oppressed by Red Ed,
right?
Crushed under the Italians. It was terrible.
The Italian guy was the best Irish guy.
No, it wasn't.
No.
No, it wasn't.
You were phony.
Amazing.
You were like another Italian who's or another Irishman who's phony baloney Italian. I don't know or what I was trying to say there. Never mind.
It's okay. You also did the best beer.
Yes, which I thought was pretty good, but apparently I got no love for that one either.
Yeah, well, I mean, you tried to take it at the heartstrings of the people by saying the
post-deployment beer.
Which, yeah.
I thought that was going to bring it home for me.
Yeah, well, you know.
People read right
Wait,
through
which one
you.
was that
People
again?
saw it.
The best beers?
No. What?
Post-deployment, first beer after a deployment.
Okay. I
Yeah.
thought you said post.
And the best part was I got to save it until the fifth round because obviously you guys
we
weren't
weren't going to take it.
Yeah,
what if I did take it?
you would. You would.
What if I did?
It wouldn't have made a difference.
So today's a big draft, okay? Today we
Yeah.
have the wedding draft. And I just want to get out of the gate. I'll say the categories in a second here, but Cons, do you feel if there was a wedding guest list, do you feel like you'd make a better guest than White Sox Dave?
110%.
You
yes.
are an idiot,
Dave. I can talk to anyone without annoying them. Okay.
I mean, you're the most. You've been annoying me all day.
Yeah, but you don't count. It doesn't matter. Number two,
it does matter.
I am freaking Swayze on the dance floor.
He doesn't dance.
Okay.
I do dance, but
I know how to tie my own tie so I don't come looking like a schlep.
tie.
All right. Yes, absolutely a better date.
That's not even what he said. We're not talking dates. Just being
Do you
in
have-
attendance
do you have
at
a-
a
Better
wedding.
guess, better date,
Do you have
whatever.
a rebuttal?
It's like everything he said is incorrect, and I could prove him wrong as we speak.
I don't
Like,
remember you dancing too much at Carl's wedding.
I don't remember. I did. I always do. I get drunk enough, and then I go make an ass of myself on the dance floor. I don't claim to be a good dancer.
Yeah, well.
But I go out there and dance every single wedding I'm at.
I think the only thing that matters is if you're enthusiastic about the dancing.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I'm sweating through every
okay. I
ounce of
don't
clothing
recall
I
that.
have.
I've only ever been to one wedding that you were at. We didn't go together. I didn't want to say I went to a wedding with you. But I don't remember you dancing too much.
That was quite the accusation, just saying that Dave never dances at all.
I think
Off a one
You
sample-sized
think
wedding.
that I don't get drunk and dance at a
That
wedding?
didn't have a
You're
big dance
crazy.
floor or much of a dance floor presence.
It
no.
didn't?
When we
I
went,
didn't want to say that either because I didn't
Was
want to
that by
come off as
design?
a shot at
well,
you.
there was a smaller dance floor and then slight rain. It was outdoors and then like a little bit of rain came in, so they moved it into a carriage house that was next to it. So, but then the capacity for the dance floor gets smaller and it wasn't like a centralized part. So it was more of like a later part of the night. I wouldn't judge anyone who didn't dance at my wedding.
I would, because I think once it shifted inside, it got wild and fun.
Yeah, well, that's part of it.
Yeah.
But then you're like, yeah, we're inside, we're dancing. You go in there, it's like kind of hectic. You know, I'm like singing Billy Joel songs.
I had a great time.
So it's one of those like, if you're out there, it was a great time, but it wasn't It wasn't like a dance floor that like anybody was casually getting into.
Yeah, you couldn't grab a corner and be like,
Yeah, like dance
Test
with
out
like,
some new
exactly.
moves.
Sure.
It was a little bit more chaotic.
You had to be
but-
committed, it sounds like.
That said, there's no fucking way Dave's dancing at a wedding.
No.
You're fucking crazy.
Really?
Yes. I go out there and just make a fool of myself and laugh at myself with everybody. Of course I'm dancing at weddings.
I figured
I have seen him dance at bars, so maybe that was just
That's true. He does karaoke, too.
Yeah, so maybe
I went up and did karaoke in front
You
of
know
like
what I
3 or
picture
4
Dave doing that's just probably disgusting at a wedding, though, is when he has a few too many, then he throws in a lip, and he's trying to talk to the bride on the dance floor, sweaty, stinks like dip.
See,
and it's just really ruining the night for the
This is-
bride.
We're crossing into the slander category.
This is a classic example of Cons thinks that when he talks the loudest, that makes him correct.
No, I'm just loud, Dave. That has nothing to do with what I'm saying.
But like you're trying to speak louder and over me to prove a point.
You
when
weren't
you know in
speaking,
the
though.
depths of your heart that it's incorrect. I wouldn't do that at a wedding, especially
All right.
when it's not about me.
I
hide the dips.
I think the only way to get to the bottom of this is now Contest will invite you to his wedding.
Yeah. By the way, thanks for the invite.
Sorry, Cons. You're
And you know what?
I pigeonholed myself into this.
You can invite me, and I wouldn't go. And not only would I wouldn't go, I wouldn't even RSVP either way. And I wouldn't send a gift. I wouldn't check out the registry. Nothing.
All right.
That's Dave.
After all
that's
that
exactly
slander-
why. That's exactly why I'm the better guest, because of everything you just said.
No, that'd be a first time. All of the above would be a first time for me.
That's not true.
What?
You don't send back the RSVP.
Well,
Oh, I let them know. I just don't send the actual letter back. And that's a point of pride that we can discuss later. And will be discussed
We'll
later.
discuss. You do like to, even if you dance, don't dance, you do like to talk like a little circle change up on the side at the weddings,
I
right?
yuck it up with everybody.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dave's talking.
Especially,
forcing
and I
her
don't
to
Yeah, it
want
was
wanna-
my cousin who got drafted in the
Yeah.
41st
And I
round in
don't-
2002, and Dave's in the corner with him, like, how big are your hands?
Hey, I was at a wedding 2 summers ago.
A lot bigger than I thought for being 6'1".
I was at a wedding 2 summers ago in Peoria, Illinois, and I was at a table specifically it was the groom I was friends with and the bride. I knew her in college too, but anyways, they specifically sat me at Zach McAllister's table.
Yeah.
And they didn't tell me he was going to be there or anything. So him and I are yucking it up, and he's a monster of a human, 6'5", 230 of just V shape. He looks like an athlete. And his dad was at the table too, and I was talking to his dad. His dad scouts for the Dodgers, and I'm like, oh fuck, dude, I can talk this guy's ear off all night. And then he introduced himself as Zach, and when you see these guys in the wild, you don't really, like, what
You
he
don't
looks
put two
like.
and two
Yeah, you
together.
don't put 2 and 2 together. And he's like, yeah, I play for the Indians. I'm like, wait, Zach? Like, and then because I knew he was from Peoria, I'm like, fuck, Zach McAllister, what's up, man? So I did talk to him.
Did you guys have like a...
Oh, awesome convo. Awesome
well,
convo.
it was awesome from your vantage point. We don't know what he thought about it.
He was in the corner of that wedding with me the entire night. Just
He was in the
talking
corner, or
baseball.
you trapped him in the corner?
He was right there in the corner with me.
Okay.
He could have left at his and I don't and here's the thing with Barstool and everything, especially in recent weddings this year, because we took a year off of weddings. Barstool's gotten so big, everybody wants to talk to the Barstool guy, not to like flex or anything, but every one of you guys have been in that same position. Correct?
That's true.
It's true.
I
So
have a text buddy.
He was every bit as enamored with Barstool
Okay.
as I
Talking
was
some
with
exit
him.
velo.
I went to a wedding in April, and I still get texts from a guy named Bobby Balls who lives in Phoenix. So that happens.
There
Bobby
you go.
Balls.
Bobby Balls. Shout out Bobby Balls. Nice
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
There you
Dave
go.
brought up a good point, though, and this is like the interest in the wedding guest draft is that I feel like we are back at the full wedding scene where
Yes.
like everyone's getting married
I
now.
got so sick of them this
We had
summer.
like an 18-month break there where like nobody got married. You didn't have to do shit. And like now,
It's almost double now.
Now
starting to
Cons is
have-
getting married.
yeah, I think
Fuck.
I've had 5. I think I have 6. My 6 is at the end of October.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and those just in the evolution of going to weddings changes from when your first buddy gets married after college
Yes.
as you kind of
Yeah,
get
yeah,
older
yeah.
and stuff,
Yeah.
or maybe when you were 18 you went to a cousin's wedding, you were like open bar, your dad was like, yeah, you can drink, don't worry. Like there's a lot of I think going to weddings is a thing that constantly evolves. As like if you ask somebody who's 60 years old, they're going to give you a different perspective and all that stuff. And I think we're kind of in that window now where it's like we've been to enough weddings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, for me, I went to a ton, I think more than the average person being in the military. I went to a ton from ages 21 to 25. And the wedding scene when you're 21, 22 is basically just everybody's single. So it's almost like
Yes, it's awesome.
it's just a huge party. Whereas I think
What?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's all. Yes.
Why is it awesome,
That's
Dave?
nothing.
We'll
nothing
get
wrong
there
with that
later.
statement at all.
I don't want to give away draft
No,
picks.
hey, listen, we're just gonna we gotta cut the knife through this right now. Mr. C is in the room. Connor's Day, you guys are
Yeah.
going on a nice trip.
Yeah.
Mr. C, this room tends to get a little horny once in a while. I just gotta let you know, and don't listen. We gotta let them know.
Yeah, we
I don't
can't.
He's
I don't
all right.
want to compromise the horniness
Yeah,
just
we
because
can't.
Kevin
No,
Cott's
don't
dad's in the
don't
room.
hold back. He's been in plenty of locker rooms in his day.
You think Dave gives a fuck that Mr. Korea is here?
The chances I ever see Mr. Crean again are slim to none. So
I don't know. I never know.
You're going
maybe.
to
You're
his
going to
wedding.
the wedding. Yes.
No, I said I'm not going. I said I'm not going. In fact, no, what? I'll say I'm going and then just
That's
not no
rude.
show.
That's
That's rude.
extremely rude.
Well, it's
A good guest wouldn't do
You
that.
were being extremely rude to me earlier.
Yeah, well. Eddie asked me a question. I answered.
Draft or I won the animal draft.
Yeah, you won the animal draft.
Congrats.
Yeah.
That was an interesting
not gonna
draft.
lie.
I have to say, I listened and I learned about a whole bunch of new animals.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
realize some of those animals existed.
I would like to use my time here just to say you guys were wrong about black bears and grizzly bears.
No.
And I kind of took it on the chin. I got so many people reached out and were like, hey, with like expertise and stuff, like you're exactly right when you're talking about black bears and grizzly bears. Grizzly bears significantly more ferocious, but if a human being is getting aggressively attacked by the black bear, like they're out there to attack and hurt you, whereas the grizzly bear is more reactive in their actions. I was right about that. I was right when I brought it up. I was right the way I talked
said
about
that they
it.
hunt humans.
They're more likely to track and hunt and go after. Like, I don't know. Now we're going to get through the definition of the word hunt,
Well,
but their behavior is significantly more intentional when attacking humans.
I
That
did
was
not
my
listen
point.
to the animal draft. No offense to anybody in this room.
I'm offended.
But I saw the graphic, and there was a lot of animals. I'm like, I don't understand the lanes these guys are taking. But anyways, black bear, I was of the impression that they were not very aggressive. Like, they can easily be spooked. Like, if you see a black bear on the street, they'll run away like a deer.
Well, there's one bear, I don't know which one it is, but where they say make yourself big and it'll go the other way, maybe.
Black
that's
fight
black
back.
fight back. I think that's what they say. I don't know.
I don't
Listen,
know.
We'll
Brown.
get
Listen,
into it.
I'll tell you
know.
what. I see any bear, I'm not looking to tangle with.
Yeah,
We used to have black bears at prep school, and then when they would run through the campus, they would shut down school for the
Oh,
day.
okay.
So no one would
That's
get
smart.
eaten by a bear.
You don't want that.
Because
No.
it's like, but the mama is like protecting her baby. So if
Yeah.
the mom's alone, you're fine. If she's with the baby, you better watch the fuck up.
Did you guys talk about if you just threw a lion and a full-grown like polar bear into a cage together to see
No.
what would happen?
We didn't get into that.
I mean,
No.
that'd be kind of fun.
You were upset you missed it too, right, Dave?
I was.
Yeah.
You guys always, whenever I have to miss an episode, you guys always pick the good ones that I want to be on.
No, I
You've
don't,
You didn't
only
even
missed two.
consult me.
I don't think
I've missed
that's
like
true.
5 over the course. of
No,
last-
there was a topic where you said don't do that. I want to do it.
but
I'm
you
not
didn't
gonna say
consult me
what
on
it
this one. I would have wanted to
What
do
was that?
animals.
Was that when we drafted tits?
No, I can't say what it was. That'd be leaking topics.
That'd be a funny draft.
It would be.
Hooters.
It
It would be.
would be great. But
One
yes,
like one category fake, one category all natural,
cartoon.
one category perky.
Oh, I gotta. No. I just remembered this. I'm gonna have to find it. I'll show you guys. And I'm sure he's listening, but I
Oh,
didn't
man.
respond to him. But he DM'd me after the Sox loss on Monday or Tuesday, whatever day it was, and he's like, "Hey man, I know you're really down right now. I'm not a Sox fan. I actually kind of fucking hate you, but I know you love a pair of tits, and here's a pair of my brother's girlfriend's tits that she accidentally texted to me instead of him, and they were spectacular tits.
Congratulations, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Hope it
I
cheered you up.
gotta find it. I gotta find them. I gotta show the boys.
All right. All right.
I don't want to see him.
Pass.
Yeah, no thanks.
No,
No, thank you.
You guys are
It sounds
looking.
like it was stolen. Okay, let's do the. Well, let me introduce the categories first. Okay, one will be the worst part. This could be also like the worst thing that can happen. And also, I should say before that, sorry, this is from the perspective of an attendee, so that you're not in the wedding. You're attending a wedding. So like, when I say worst part, worst thing that can happen, it could be like, oh well, if this goes wrong, it's a bad wedding. Make sense?
The church burns down.
Yeah, that's extreme.
Yeah.
Like that's like I'm talking that scenarios that frequently happen.
Okay.
Like if there's some kind of global pandemic or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
That I mean, sure.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
But even like you could even think a lot more basic.
No, I know.
Song, hors d'oeuvre. Dave, how do you spell hors d'oeuvre?
HORSDOEUVRE. I think I got it that time.
You did.
Veteran move, which is like a move like, hey, if you're going, here's a good move to do. Mm-hmm. And best tradition. Okay. Those are the 5 things. Once again, you're an attendee. Right now, intern Harry has number 1 through 5 behind his back. Cons, what number is it?
3.
Carl.
2. I'm gonna take the 4th overall pick.
That's a fucking random one.
Well, he just won in the 4th spot last week.
Chief.
1.
Wow.
I'll take 3.
Dave.
1. I'll
Wow.
take 5.
Jesus. Me, 1 or 2? 1. All right, Cons. What do you want? 1 or 2?
I'll take 1.
Okay.
One thing I have given thought to just now, right before we started, am I correct in saying, for the most part, that you four, have all mostly gone to weddings in this part of the country, the Midwest, Chicago area?
Yeah.
The majority of the weddings you've been to?
Wrong.
Okay.
So I've been, I don't know. I've been all over. Last wedding was in California. The one before that was in Maine. So
yeah, I just think because I think weddings greatly differ depending on where you are in the country. I've been to enough, I think, where...
Yeah, but I think it's like that's like styles of football where, like, at the end of the day, you're still playing the same fucking sport.
Good point.
Like, some guys throw it, some guys run it, defense heavy, whatever, but,
Yeah.
I don't know if I've noticed that. I haven't really been to a ton of weddings in the South, or Texas, but
Yeah.
if that, I don't. But my sister's married. One guy married to a guy from Texas. The other married. So we'd have like those people coming up. The other one's from North Carolina.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think so.
This might have zero bearing on this thing
Probably.
whatsoever.
Okay. Be interesting, though. All right, Cons, before you make your pick, though, I do want to talk about something here, and I want to talk about some of the best ribs in Chicago. Dave, where can you get those
You
at?
can get those at Gal Street Inn on the northwest side, Ed.
Thank you. Carl, what else can you get there?
Oh, French onion soup. Delicious bowl of French onion.
Great. Chief, what else can you get there?
That little shrimp thing was unbelievable.
Yeah, that's
too.
what I was going to say,
Yeah.
too.
Very good. The jambalaya.
The jambalaya.
Is what you're talking
Oh, is that
Yeah.
was that the jambalaya?
Yep, they
Okay,
got a
it was
great
outstanding.
jambalaya.
Great jambalaya. But they had the prawns almost. They were like those jumbo fried shrimp. They were fucking incredible.
Gale Street Inn. I mean, we haven't talked about it. They've been a sponsor on one of these drives for sure. You got to go. You got to go. You got to go. You got to go. It's in Northwest Side in Jefferson Park, right off the Jeff Park Blue Line. If you want to go check it out, they have awesome ribs. Like we've been, we've all been, right?
Yep.
We all had at least one dinner there. I know Carl's been multiple
Patrick
times.
Kane loves
I love it.
Yeah, Patrick Kane loves it. It is located at 4914 North Milwaukee Avenue. GaleStreet.com. You can go on there. You could order. They're on the Toast app. I know that. And ribs travel, so make sure you get your order in and try out these ribs. It's a perfect time to do it. The winter's, not too far upon us. It is fall. It is football season. They got a ton of stuff. They got Alaskan king crab as well. Oysters Rockefeller back on the menu. They got bands inside. So go there, dine in, or go get some delivered to you wherever you are. GaleStreet.com, Gale Street Inn on 4914 North Milwaukee Avenue. They're the best, so go do it. All right, Cons. Number 1 overall, you're up.
All right. I really think that there's a clear number 1 for 2 categories, for song and for hors d'oeuvres. And that's what I'm really torn between right now. And while both of those categories have a clear number 1, they also have a lot of other choices. But I do think I want to get this on my graphic right away. And I'm going to go song, and I'm going to take Shout. I think Shout, no matter where you are, that's the song that everybody knows. Everybody throws their hands up. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Dave's looking at me kind of crooked, probably because he's mangled in the corner by the time Shout gets played, so he doesn't get to enjoy it.
No.
Damn, a lot of shots at my guy White Sox Dave.
Well, because he's about to fire a shot at me.
I'm
so
not about to
preempting
fire
the
a shot about
It's just
you.
a
I'm
debate,
about to
man.
fire a shot at your choice right there.
Which
yes,
is a shot
it's
at
played
me.
at
Not
every
necessarily,
wedding,
Cons.
but it's so overplayed. Like, if it's not played at a wedding ever again, I wouldn't give a fuck.
I would. I
Yeah.
like Shout.
It's fun.
How is it overplayed if you can only play it once?
Yeah. When you end the wedding with Shout and everyone goes...
Oh, no. You don't end the wedding with Shout.
Sometimes you end it, sometimes in the middle, sometimes in the beginning.
Strong opinions early.
No. You got to get the people going. That's the one. Like, let's get the party started. Let's play Shout. Everyone gets out on the dance
Can't play
floor.
it too early, though.
Exactly.
Third, fourth song. Like once people are, you have some.
No, I think it needs to go
Too
later.
early.
No
I think
way.
it needs to go later because the later you go, the more people you'll have involved in it. And that's what makes it a great time is it's one of the songs that will get everyone out on the dance floor. It will get the 60-year-olds out on the dance floor. It will get the young kids out on the dance floor. Although I don't think young kids should necessarily be at weddings. I think it should be an adult affair, but that's neither here nor there. It's a song that everyone can enjoy because the words are really easy. Mm-hmm. The dance is just putting your hands up, and who knows? Maybe you're putting the bride on your shoulders. Yeah, everyone's laying on the ground.
That's a great part when they take it down.
Yes, you take it down, and everyone gets down together.
I think if you play that song early, people get involved. The vibes are
No,
good.
I
They
think there's other
stay
songs.
involved.
I think
They
there's other
stay
songs.
involved.
I think there's other songs that can get people involved early.
That's the number one.
I don't know, Chief. You said a lot of
Early,
ridiculous shit on
early.
the show.
No.
Third or fourth song is crazy.
Maybe that may be a little early, but
Yeah.
it should definitely be in like the first part of the wedding.
I
No.
think middle part of the
I
wedding.
think middle. You got to have some
Yeah.
people sweating already.
Oh yeah.
When shout comes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it
I
was,
personally want to be loosened up when that one's on.
I want
Exactly.
the
I
tie.
feel like I have
Yes.
control of the floor.
Yes.
Yeah, third or fourth song, I'm still probably pretty buttoned up.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't undone my tie yet. I'm not nearly sweaty enough. Third
All
or
right.
fourth song, it's too early. I got to go end of the wedding.
You guys are not as enthusiastic of dancers as I am, apparently.
I'm out there from
You want-
song number one, so it's
Well-
for me. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying for the greater good of the party, I think it's better with more people involved.
I think if you play it late, some people are already tired. They've already worn out. They're already too sweaty. Some people are too drunk. They're leaving.
But
3/4
that's
of the
the
way.
thing. This is a fucking shot of fucking boom.
Adrenaline.
Yes, that's what gets you going.
I
When
think
you hear that first, way
playing it as
Wow,
that was actually pretty good.
you know you make me wanna.
That's great.
See?
that was
That was
pretty
very good.
Come on.
That was nice of you to compliment.
I think it's better in the first third than the last third.
All right. But you agree it's a 1A song.
Doesn't sound like Dave does. Though.
No, it's definitely synonymous with weddings. It's definitely should be drafted. It's like for me personally, I've been to so many weddings this year. I'm just over it.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, that doesn't make it a bad pick.
I think
at
there's
all.
other songs that are more played out.
I think there's one song. I mean, it shouldn't be. Well, we could talk about that
Yeah.
later. But
Listen, I'm happy.
I'm over it.
I knew when you took.
I'd
one,
like to find
I
the
knew
next
that's where
shout.
you were going.
I'd like to find the next shout. What's the next shout?
I think
What
there is
year
a
did that
clear
song
next
come out?
shout.
Really?
What song?
Yeah.
Or what year did that song come out?
Shout, Jesus, the 70s.
I would guess 70. It's been around 40, 50 years.
It was
but
at least in Animal House, and that was in 1980
That
or
is- yeah.
1978.
that was late.
I don't know if
80s.
that's the origin of it.
Also, we can't talk shout and not mention that Clem missed it at his wedding.
Yes.
Sorry, Clem.
See?
Have you ever seen that?
Yes.
It's one of the funniest blogs / like GIFs / picture I've ever seen. There's a video of Clem from his wedding with his hands on his head because just you could see his voice, his lips reading, "I miss shout, I miss shout," and it is awesome.
See, that tells you everything you need to know about Shout. That Clem was so distraught that he missed it. That's how great of a song it is.
Yeah, it's so
So
funny.
that's my number one. Shout.
Okay, good pick. It's to me, I'm number 2 overall. I didn't really have a choice. I mean, we went over it. I got to take it. Veteran move. And that's grabbing 2 drinks before dinner and the speeches. So it's
Wow. Okay.
It's you know, you got to be ready to go because they shut down everything, rightfully so. I think people who are loud during speeches are the worst. But I think grabbing 2 drinks, making sure you're good to go, and keep everything flowing in the right way is a veteran move.
Yeah. I don't hate it.
Yeah, so that's a good point, and I feel like early in your wedding going experience and career, you'll maybe say to the bartender when they're like, "Hey, sorry, bar's closed," and you're like, "Hey, come on, one more,"
Yeah.
and like you'll realize very quickly. It doesn't matter if you're the president of the United States. They're not serving you another fucking drink. When that bar closes, there is no bar that closes the way a wedding reception
it's done.
bar closes when
It
they
is.
start pouring the wine around the table.
Yeah.
No, they're like cleaning the glass. They're like, dude, the booze is, I'll make the drink. No fucking, there's no 20. There's nothing that's going to get those guys to make another
No.
cocktail.
Let me tell you, I was at a wedding in May. They shut the bar down 20 minutes early. The wedding went for another 20 minutes. They shut the bar down. I'd never seen that move before. It was completely egregious. Completely agree.
We'll just say hopefully it was a mistake.
I think so.
Maine?
At least I hope.
That was
No.
on purpose.
I don't know.
No, it was down. It was in Texas.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, so you wouldn't expect that. but
Um,
nevertheless, good pick, Ed.
thank you, David.
Yeah. I mean, I personally kind of double up. I grab 2 drinks, hit the line again, and then I'll have 4 drinks in front of me.
You
But-
do the conveyor belt at the wedding?
oh, yeah, I do the conveyor belt of the wedding.
Really?
I'm not sitting through
I'll
fucking...
do.
You do a conveyor belt at like the cell guaranteed rate if you have the patio deal.
Yeah.
And you don't want to wait in the line, but
I think the move on this, what Dave's talking about, you don't have 4 sitting in front of you. You get 1, you get back in line. You get your 2, then you sit down.
That's probably the way to do it.
Yeah.
what do you think of the pick?
Tomato.
It's a good pick.
Yeah.
It's a good pick.
I don't think you need to take it number 2 overall. I think that would have probably stuck it around for a little while. But yeah, I mean,
I think
it's a great veteran move.
Yeah.
It's a veteran move. Chief, you're up.
I'll go traditions. I love this one. You know, I'm Catholic, so I don't get to see this very often. I've only ever been to one Jewish wedding. But when they lift the couple up on the chairs
I'm
and they're
so
holding
fucking pissed at you right now.
the napkin, it is like, I don't know, like, can we just steal that? Can Catholics just start stealing that? Because it is awesome, and it's I want to be up on that chair someday, but I'm not because I'm not Jewish. But it is absolutely.
You can marry a Jew, I think.
But
right?
Then,
I was at my first
probably not
Jewish
gonna
wedding
happen.
2 months ago, like the end of July.
I don't even know what it's called.
The Mutzvah or something.
Okay,
I think
I don't know.
like MUZTPAH.
Don't look at me, I'm not Jewish,
I
so
want
I
to
don't
say,
know.
but Jewish. I've been to one Jewish wedding.
Me too.
It
Same.
was unbelievably fun.
We've all only
Yeah.
been to one. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no one
Only-
here who's Jewish, right?
No.
No.
Okay, yeah.
I'm
and
Catholic
it was,
as well. Yeah, never
have
been
you been to one, Carl?
No, maybe
Oh
one part.
man,
It's
It-
electric.
it was
half?
and mine was split. So they had
I've been
a,
to 2 halves.
they had a rabbi
That's
and
one. Yeah.
and a priest
Count
do
it.
like the ceremony part.
Okay.
And the rabbi, he was a Jewish Russian, and he was in like the Jewish military or something. And he was like a stand-up comedian during the ceremony part. He had us all rolling,
Yeah.
laughing.
You think maybe he was in
What'd you
the Israeli military?
No, he was Russian. He had like a thick-ass Russian accent.
Okay. I don't know that there's a Jewish military.
No, Israeli. No,
Yeah, Israeli.
I said Jewish and then changed it to Russian.
Okay.
He's Jewish from Russia.
Gotcha.
Now he's a rabbi in the States.
okay.
And,
this guy's lived a life.
Because he asked the like crowd to get pumped up at one point and like clap, and then he's like, I can't hear you guys, and he's like, I was a drill sergeant in the Russian military or something like that. But he was like a stand-up comedian. It was so fucking funny, everything he was saying, just like busting balls about my buddy's dick size and how he's about to have sex for the first time and everything. It was fucking funny.
Sounds great.
It's called the Jewish HORA dance.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What,
All right.
what was that?
That's a great pick.
Yeah, I love
It
it.
was on my
Yeah.
list. It's electric.
It is.
really is.
It's awesome.
We need that in our arsenal.
Yep.
We need that.
I've also, completely unrelated, I love the idea of doing a Shabbat where they just basically have Thanksgiving dinner with their family like every Friday. So like the week's over, like you have no obligations, but you just like, I would love to Shabbat with my friends. Like everybody just have like a big dinner and just have like, that's the day. I want a Shabbat and I want to do this. What do you call it? The HORA dance?
Yeah.
I want that incorporated into Catholicism somehow.
There you go.
Yep.
Carl, you're up.
So I think I like con strategy saying, hey, I've got, a top song. When I look at this board, I think there's a category where there is a clear standalone one, and that's in the hors d'oeuvre category. I'm not saying this is necessarily the best hors d'oeuvre, but when you see this hors d'oeuvre, you're like, I know I'm at a wedding. Like
Yep.
the only way you get this hors d'oeuvre is at a wedding. It's at every wedding. It's the ultimate wedding hors d'oeuvre, and I'm taking. This is so obscure. I can't believe this is my first round pick, but I'm taking bacon wrap dates.
Dude,
Wow.
that's the only fucking hors d'oeuvre I could think of that was like specific to a wedding, and they're delicious.
Okay.
I could eat them like fucking handfuls.
They
Yeah.
just there's something about it's like I don't know. If I'm at a wedding, I just picture eating bacon wrap dates.
Yeah.
You know what? Because you're not eating dates any other time.
No,
Honest to
And
God, I
definitely
don't
not
even know
bacon
where to
wrap dates.
find these fucking things.
Right. Who else is serving
I know
dates?
a place you could find them.
what do you?
Yeah.
Jim
Off air. Off air. Well, I'm sure he could make them for you too. You're Dave. You seem upset.
I mean, 2 of my picks have gotten taken already.
Oh.
So 3 of them technically, but you could have yours.
And here's the thing: is like I don't even know if I like dates. I just know I eat so many of them when I'm at a wedding. I'm like an uncontrolled. It's like, and you're always so hungry.
Yes.
So I like the hors d'oeuvre category here.
Yes.
There's just something like you never want hors d'oeuvres as bad as you do when you're at the wedding cocktail hour.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's a good pick.
I think it's a good pick. I think it's good.
Dave's not happy. So
No.
I'm interested here. He's claiming
typically-
we're taking the bat out of his hands. So Dave,
Well,
you're up. Where
Typically,
you
you
going?
guys would be like, "Oh, Dave agreed with you. That's a shitty pick." I can't believe that went in the first round because I thought that I was just gonna fucking snag that whenever. But whatever.
So are you scrambling now? Because you're up for
I'm not
2 in a row.
scrambling. No, I'm not
Okay.
scrambling. I'm gonna go with the song. I'm gonna go what I think is a universally beloved song, not just wedding song, but it is at every single wedding. I'm going Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
I had it on my list.
It's another crowd participation one.
Yeah,
Everyone likes
exactly.
Yes. Especially in Jersey.
Especially in Jersey. And if you would have said an iota of something bad about that song, just one little sliver, I would have been like, your Jersey card's revoked.
No, I don't speak ill of my Jersey brethren. So
I am a little surprised
JBJ.
you took it, though.
Why you say that?
Because you're such like an underground guy, and that just seems a little mainstream for White Sox Dave, right?
Yeah.
maybe.
I mean,
yeah, a little bit.
you could argue that that's fucking overplayed too. But
Halfway there.
I mean,
though.
it's like it's just
It gets the
standard at
people
every.
going.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the main thing. It's just if it gets people going, and
Right.
you're like,
Yeah.
yes.
I
that's
think
And
the
I know
song.
what you guys are gonna pick. I don't know. I'll leave it. I'll leave it.
No, you're right. And one of the things that gets people going when you're talking about songs is a song where everybody, by and large, knows the majority of the lyrics and can sing along
Yeah.
to it.
Yep.
That ultimately kicks a song into a different stratosphere when everybody knows all the words.
Yeah, I would
100%.
completely agree.
And that fits the bill. Dave, you're up again.
I'm gonna go hors d'oeuvre this time. I'm gonna go the little like fried beef bites.
Pigs in a blanket?
No, not the hot dog things.
Oh,
Like the
sorry.
little beef bites, like beef Wellington bites. They're
Oh,
like
okay,
wrapped
yes.
in like the dough thing.
I'll just put beef
Oh,
Wellington
I think
on
it's
the graphic.
mini beef Wellington.
Yeah, I think is that what it's called? Yeah.
I don't know what the sauce, the white sauce is on it.
No, it doesn't got a sauce on it. It's just like, I don't want to call it mushy because that make it sounds gross, but it's like it's a beef, and it's just wrapped in like a pig in a blanket, but it's beef.
Like an empanada.
Kind of, yeah, more like that, except they're like bite size. They're at every single wedding.
Well, not about every.
I mean,
It looks fucking good. If this
You
is at a
found it?
wedding, I would want it.
Beef bites.
I would eat a lot of these.
Are you worried, Dave? It doesn't seem like people know.
no, I'm not worried at all.
Beef Wellington is a name that plays anywhere you go.
Yes, yeah.
Steak bites.
I served with a guy.
Yes, that's probably the easiest way to put it. Just a little steak bite.
well, this
Beef
is just steak
Wellington
on a
bites.
stick. This is not
So-
bread.
No, it's like wrapped in they're like empanadas.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I served with a guy. His
Those
last
are
name was Wellington, one of the other lieutenants in my unit. His nickname was
Were you in the
Beef.
military?
Oh,
It's a good nickname.
that's very good.
Beef.
Was that like an old famous
Famous.
English general?
Yes,
Wellington?
yes. It was.
Waterloo?
Something like that, yeah.
You like beef Wellington going right there, Chief?
Wellington.
I mean, I don't even know if that's what he drafted. So, like, I'm a little
Here,
confused.
right here.
What is he talking about, Chief?
These things. You know exactly what I'm talking about. They're everywhere. They got
It's
little,
like a little puff pastry with a piece of meat in it.
yeah,
All right.
with little onions.
I'm sure it's
Yeah.
delicious.
like sautéed onions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's very good.
These mini beef Wellington bites. That's what
Great.
Carl has said.
Fantastic.
And anybody have any problems with the beef Wellington bites?
No, I don't. I think it's. I mean, if he's had it and he's liked it, and he's
It's
a
very
guest. This-
standard.
again, this is from a wedding guest perspective too. So if Dave's had it and he likes it,
Yep. That's all there is to it.
That's right.
Now, Dave, is there any spill factor on these?
No.
Because that's very key.
Even
little grease.
they do get a little flaky,
Okay.
but they're bite sized, so you don't got to worry about the flakes and crumbs
Okay.
getting everywhere because of the pastry.
It's good. Carl, you're up.
all right, I'm gonna go. We're second round here. I took my top hors d'oeuvre. I'm gonna take my top worst part.
Ooh.
And the worst part is, or the worst thing that can happen for a wedding, is a really, really long church ceremony.
Yep, I had that.
I mean,
So
that can
that's what I
just-
thought we couldn't draft.
No, I had that.
What do you mean?
Like just sitting through the ceremony.
Yeah,
just
that's-
like that is
The way you
just
because that would have been, I thought, the number one fucking pick. Everybody hates that part.
Well, some people value our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
No,
and want to,
nobody
want
in this
to be
room
actually
want,
does.
want to watch that.
That's
As,
right.
as an ordained minister who delivered Carl's sermon, I'm a little offended.
Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah,
wants
that's not
to
what I'm
watch
talking
that part.
about. I'm also an ordained. I'm not minister.
I think you are,
The
right?
Church of Spiritual Humanity. or
Yeah, as am I.
something.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
is
It's like
that
20 bucks
Scientology?
No.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
Catholic Mass.
yeah, and it's more than that.
It's
but it's not just
Catholic.
Catholic. It's not just Catholic. I mean, my cousin got married in I think it was like a Baptist ceremony or something, and that's in its own right because then it's like, do I take the host? Do I not? Do I participate in any of this stuff? Do I stand? Do I kneel? Do I sit? You know, this isn't really, these aren't my rules, but you know, we all kind of still playing the same game. No, I'm talking about you walk into that fucking church and you're like friends with somebody and they got the big families. You know, and the priest gets up. The priest is like, I've known him for 25 years. And you're just like, holy.
Here we go.
Fucking
Okay.
Buckle up.
Yeah.
Here we go. St. Paul from the Corinthians. We have another, you know, like, it's just one of those huge productions. The church is really fucking nice and big. And you're just sitting there like, I got nothing.
Yep.
I mean, I got nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That to me is the worst.
I think it's a good pick.
Yeah, I mean, I had that.
So what are you saying? Just long ceremony?
Yeah, really long church ceremony.
Yeah, a really long.
Okay.
I had that as my number 2 worst
But
part.
for the graphic, sure, what a really long church ceremony, but the pick itself is, the long, extravagant, the enduring that spirit. Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Because you know what
You
makes
hear
it.
the fucking organ pipe up. You look behind you. You see they got in the balcony up there. They got a couple people. They got another lady singing. They got some guy with a horn. It's like, oh, that guy hasn't even fucking assembled the saxophone yet. The thing's gonna get crazy in here.
Couple altar servers.
You smell it. And then my dad would take out a stopwatch, like when we're kids, and take over unders and stuff.
I think it's it's so much of it has to do with like your priest. Like
Yes.
my sister's, like I still remember, like he talked about like marriage being like a tennis match, and everyone's like, and he talked about it for a long time.
He talked about it for the length of a tennis match.
Yeah, and it was like, what? Like I was like kind of spacing out, and then it's like I look up and he's still talking about tennis, and like I look out into the what would you call it, the audience and the congregation, and you're just like, everyone's just looking at each other like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Like, wrap it up.
Yeah, I mean, like I still go to church, and it's fine for me. Like I know it's pretty
You're there for
specified
an
amount
hour.
of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. And when you're at a wedding ceremony, though, all you're thinking is, this is the only thing standing between me and an open bar and cocktail hour.
And it makes it that much longer.
Yeah.
The church,
And also, too,
the church is like eating your vegetables.
Right.
You know?
The church also, too, from your perspective, like, it's not my home church.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not Saint Germain. That's not where I fuck. This isn't my priest. That's not my altar. Like, this is different music. So like you're out of your like comfort zone, all that stuff too. Different church, not home field advantage.
Right.
Really
Playing the
long
away
church
game.
ceremony.
I see that that would have been my first overall pick if I had the first pick, but I interpreted what Ed said wrong, I guess.
It's all right.
Sorry, I got a couple backups up the sleeve. We're all good.
Chief, you're up.
Chief, what do you got for us, son?
I'll go veteran move,
Okay.
and I'll go, and it's kind of dependent upon. This is more of like not a destination wedding, but when you travel for it. So when you're staying at a hotel, ordering food, a pizza, some kind of late night something after the wedding to your hotel room before you leave. So like you phone it in, you're still at the wedding, and then when you get there, it's almost like waiting for you at like the front desk. So if you have a pizza or food delivered to your hotel for afterwards.
Yeah.
Good move.
I like that.
But what if the wedding supplies a late night thing? Then you don't need to worry about it.
Well, like they bring it in at the end.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but you're saying if one doesn't, then
Yeah.
I
it's
think
better to move the place.
Yeah, I think you kind of find out, or you look around and it's like not that great, and then you can order something in advance. And I think yours had it, didn't it, Carl? But I think it was maybe like I remember I did it. I was at the Marriott and I ordered it with room service. I was staying at that. It was at the hotel, and my date to that wedding was just like she fell in love with me like in that moment when I had like grilled cheeses and stuff like wheeled up to the door of the hotel room. Like that is
That's
having
a
like
move.
the late night snack after the wedding, and
Yeah.
it doesn't even matter if there's food there. You get back at like 2 a.m. because there's usually like an after party. You just want to have food waiting for you when you get back. That's the move.
Now,
Yeah.
does it count because it didn't take place at the wedding?
Yes.
No,
Yeah,
it
it's a
does.
veteran move.
I
It's a
think.
veteran move.
It's a wedding move.
Yeah.
We had late night food from a guy who will not be named.
Yes, we
that's
did.
right. That's right.
Well, we can name him because he's dead.
Oh, jeez, Dave.
I mean, he's dead. Well, I didn't lie about nothing.
Okay.
I mean, it's just an exercise of sensitivity.
Yeah,
It's
seriously.
like, we know he's passed, but
He also did put a hit out on our boss.
Yes, he did.
Goodness gracious. So I'm.
He needs to take a breather. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, this is nothing. We've talked about this on air before. He's dead, but
He's dead, and he wanted Portnoy dead.
Yeah.
So it happens.
yeah.
I actually don't
We're all
know.
gonna do it eventually.
Listen, I don't know who you're talking about. I probably will once one of you reminds me. But right now, I don't know
if you would know about that.
I might not.
Yeah.
I might not.
I don't think you would.
But anyway, I'm going to a wedding on Sunday when I get back. I'm flying back early Sunday from here, from Chicago, well, from Madison to Chicago, and flying back because I got to go to a wedding on Sunday. But
That's going to be miserable.
yeah, it might be a little tough. But I know almost for a fact that walking out the door after the reception on the way to the after party, they're going to have White Castle and a Good Humor station.
Oh, that's nice.
So that's in the same vein.
Yeah.
I'll take it off that's what I had on my board. One of the best traditions was fast food on the way to the after party. I would say that's too close to yours. But yeah, any sort of food after the reception is a veteran move.
The good thing about this as well, Chief, is if it's bad or if they don't have it, you know everyone's going to rush back and think the same thing.
Right.
So you
get
ordering
ahead of
at
it.
the place, that's the key thing you said.
Yep.
Was like getting ready or ahead of
Yeah, it's like
time.
knowing ahead of time.
Yeah, and like waiting around for an order when you're in your hotel room, you're drunk, you're tired. Like when you just have it there waiting for you, like you're the king.
Because
you're the fucking king.
if it's not there when you get back or within 2 to 3 minutes, you're going to lose people. People
Yep.
are like, you know what? I don't feel like waiting. I'm just going to call it a night.
Yep.
You need to have people there with
It's
the
ordered.
food.
Yep.
The same. It was actually my Jewish friend's wedding. We were out in Naperville, and we had our late night Mexican joint that was open till 4 a.m. when we were in college. And we, after the wedding, after we were drinking, we went to the after bar. It was like 2 a.m. We went to hit up Los Burritos Tapatios, favorite burrito joint on earth to this day. And it was fucking closed because of COVID, and it broke the entire wedding's heart.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
It broke everybody's
That
heart.
just crushes spirits.
Crushes spirits.
Yeah.
We didn't give a shit about all the happiness that we saw that day because our burritos weren't there for us.
Tough.
It was very tough.
All right, it's to me. Wow, a lot of ways to go here.
Lot of ways to go.
here.
And you just took your veteran move.
Veteran
first
move
round.
is the only one off the board. I don't know. I have a song I really want, Pecan says song. So I guess it wouldn't be smart.
Get on the way back.
Yep. I'm just going to take the hors d'oeuvre. I think it's one you see everywhere. I know it's going to get some hate because of spillage, but it's a shrimp cocktail again. It's my second time taking it.
Wow.
So do you hunt it? Do you like a shrimp cocktail? You see,
It's safe. It's safe. You know, like it's unless if it's like spoiled or something, you know it's going to like agree with you. It's not going to be too greasy situation where you're going to have the fucking the belt at the ankles at some point in the middle of the ceremony. You know, so
Yeah.
I like that, and I like the ones where it's like a singular one and it's a little shot of cocktail sauce.
Yeah, as opposed
You know what I mean?
to a
Yes.
group. Do you tell the hors d'oeuvre server that's walking around? You see, maybe there's 4 hors d'oeuvres going around. I won't name any other, but say there's a bacon wrap date, and there's a shrimp cocktail, there's the beef Wellington guy. Do you tell the shrimp cocktail guy like, "Hey, don't get lost"? Or like,
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
stick around.
I feel like it's part of. You got to say something.
Yeah,
if you
absolutely.
like it.
Just be like, yeah,
Ooh.
just
Hey, you mind if I take 2?
Yeah,
Anybody take
exactly.
2? I'm always
Yeah.
taking 2.
Yeah.
make your trip around here again.
Here's my only thing I'm going to say about shrimp cocktail.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take my hors d'oeuvre next. And one thing I will say about shrimp cocktail, and with some other hors d'oeuvres as well, I don't like anything that I can't just take in one bite and be done with.
Okay.
You have shells with the
Fair
shrimp cocktail.
Fair con.
There are some other hors d'oeuvres
Right.
where you're like, all right, I'm left holding something. And you can obviously find somewhere to put it down, but sometimes you don't have somewhere to put it down, so now you're just carrying.
Can I say this though?
Yes.
If you're gonna say that, the bacon wrap date or the beef Wellington bite could come on a toothpick.
I
So-
know.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
mine's on a stick.
That's
It's
what I'm
not
saying,
even.
so-
It's not even a toothpick. Mine comes on a dull,
Legit stick.
kind of straw, easily
Yeah.
bendable, foldable stick that we know about that you can't pick your teeth with. There's
Right.
no utility. A toothpick you can do some work
You're
with.
just holding it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just in your.
There should be more garbage cans around in the cocktail hour. I'll
So
say
I
that.
actually think that's a good point.
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
They're never.
That's a good
There's
point.
never one when you.
But
When
the
I
bride's
think-
like, I don't want the garbage cans in there.
Because Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Exactly.
what it is, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It doesn't look good.
But yeah, no, I think I don't like anything, and that's really how I shaped my top hors d'oeuvre picks. So, but I mean, shrimp cocktail, yeah.
It's a fair con.
Yeah, yeah.
You like that one?
I did.
All right, thank you. So yeah, shrimp cocktail. I got that in the fancy dinner draft too. You're up again, Connor.
All right, and I'm gonna go with my hors d'oeuvre. And as I said, I like stuff that more or less I can get in one bite, not messy. There's no chance of dripping something on my tie, on my shirt, on my suit. Because there's nothing worse than being early in the game. You're like, oh crap, I got this spot on my shirt. I'm going crab cake.
Oh,
The mini crab cakes.
Wow.
That's one bite.
Was
Guess
on my
what?
list.
was
You're
on
never
mine,
really
too.
going to have a bad crab cake. Some exceed expectations, but it's one bite. You know what you're getting. Maybe there's a little bit of a dollop of a sauce on top. It's one bite. You're clean. You're in. You're out. You got your drink in your other hand. That's the other thing. I don't want anything I have to use two hands. Okay? Yeah. I need something just one hand, one bite, one kill. Boom.
What if
mini crab cake?
So mini crab cakes, the crab cakes are mushy.
Yeah.
What if a little bit of the crab cake gets under your fingernail and everyone's like, you smell cons, his fingers smell like shit. What are you going to do if you get in that situation?
We all know that's never happening, Ed.
There's things you think of.
He's
You
a
got to be
weirdo.
ready for it.
I don't know that I've ever been to a wedding with crab cakes.
Oh,
Jesus, Dave.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I might, because I wouldn't go out of my way to eat crab cakes because not a huge seafood fan. Same thing for shrimp cocktail. I don't like shrimp cocktail at all. But I don't know. I just cannot remember ever.
I mean, have you seen the movie Wedding Crashers? That was like a whole point of Wedding Crashers.
But it was in Maryland, dummy.
Do you like cakes?
It took place in Maryland.
Had to throw the D word in there.
Yeah, is that necessary?
they were getting along well.
Like,
Mr.
I didn't know if that was like
Unbelievable.
specific to your
no,
region.
No, I've seen crab cakes at so many weddings.
Yeah, I have too.
I know,
Jeez.
but that's why I asked the question.
Maybe you need some classier friends.
That, believe me, I do not need classier friends. They need
Believe
more of
me.
me. They need more of me to unclass themselves. But I mean, you saying Wedding Crashers and that just it does
No,
nothing to better your point.
it's just a pretty standard wedding hors d'oeuvre.
Yeah,
I think
that's
there's-
why I asked.
Yeah, I think there's like 5 or 6 hors d'oeuvres that more
I
or less
think we
you're gonna
got
see
like
in every
all
wedding.
of them so far.
Crab
if
cakes
that's
are
the case.
great.
Yeah. That,
They're
like my list on those was kind of tapped out.
Yeah,
There's
you're in trouble.
Yeah.
I think there's
Well,
2 more.
There's one more that I really like. It's 2 more that I like, but one in particular.
There's 2 more
Yeah.
in the hors d'oeuvre category that I think play at every wedding. But yeah, I'm going mini crab cakes.
I do think you could get a bad one though, but to each their own.
I think the ceiling is high.
Yeah.
Like the potential for a great mini crab cake is very high,
Mm-hmm.
but equally the floor is very low.
I agree with
Soft
that.
one that hasn't been prepared. You need a little crunch and crisp. Actually, I think Dave. I'm surprised White Sox Dave doesn't like crab cakes more.
I wouldn't be surprised if I like.
He doesn't like seafood. He
The
said.
texture
it's
is
not
very good. Though.
I don't go out of my way for seafood.
I would
There's
put
seafood
crab
that I
cake
like.
texture against any that texture is such good rich
Yeah.
texture.
Yeah. I just think, the breading around the crab, I don't think the floor is as low as you believe it to be.
No, a bad crab cake doesn't go very far.
Yeah, you can have bad anything though. But I can't.
Tough to fuck up a bacon wrap date. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
A
you
date's
could.
a fruit, by the way, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And also you're stuck with that flimsy stick. What are you doing
We're not
with
talking
that?
about the stick here. We're talking about.
I mean, that's part of it, Carl.
the quality of the
That's
bite.
part
Don't
of
worry,
it.
his fingernail smells like shit.
Whatever. You guys are trashing this because you know it's a good
No,
pick.
I like it.
Yeah.
it. Cons, you're up again.
All right. So I think, wow. All right. I think my worst part, I think this will hold on. So I think I got to go veteran move because rare is the day now where you see a cash bar. It's almost always, I don't actually know if I've ever been to a cash bar wedding. Have you guys ever seen a cash bar at a wedding?
I have. It's not great.
Yeah. So it's almost always
Open bar.
open bar.
Mm-hmm.
Tipping the bartender from Jump Street, dropping
20
a 20,
bucks. Yeah.
and being like, "Hey, I'm Connor.
I
see
gave
you
you
all
a
night."
20. Yeah. That's a good one. Great pick.
I do like that.
Tipping the
That's-
bartender ahead of the open bar.
Because you don't
Just
want to
letting
give
them
a
know.
single every time.
Exactly.
But yeah, you got to make sure you get, because then you don't want to come off as a stiff
Right.
later on in the night when they've seen 100
that's why
different faces.
you don't sneak it into the tip jar folded.
No, you
flat
make a
on the
point,
table
yes.
with your hand there.
Yes.
Hey, you introduce yourself.
Yep.
So that way you're not saying, "Hey, yo," the rest of the night. You're saying, "Hey, Brian," when you get a chance.
Yeah,
Yep.
tipping the bartender at the gate is huge.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Because then
Very
guess
good one.
what?
Great
when
pick.
when you go up there to get those 2 drinks to go sit down, maybe Brian's slipping you a little JMO neat because they can't pour shots, but hey, he can give you a JMO neat, and you take a little shot before you take those 2 beers back to your table.
I
Yep.
like that.
Also, in a standard wedding reception bar, you'll have 2 bartenders, you'll have 2
Yep.
single file lines, and when you tip big and early, it allows you to come up diagonally
Yep.
later in the night when you can approach one of the corners of the bar. So you're blatantly cutting the line,
Yes.
but you don't actually have to go stand in front of anybody. You can just kind of come up to the
You just
corner of
make
the bar.
eye contact and give a little head
And
nod.
just be like,
walk up.
Exactly.
What's
Yeah.
his name? Rick, Randy, whatever
Yeah.
the bartender. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, Rick.
Oh.
Hey, Ricky.
Yeah, you just give him a little,
Yeah.
little one of those,
Just-
little
yeah.
head nod.
And he's like, another one?
And then, because he
Another
already
one?
knows you're not flip flopping. You're not getting 6 different drinks. You're getting
Right.
one thing.
Yep.
So he already knows. He sees you out of the corner of his eye. He's mixing the one drink while at the same time he's grabbing me my Miller Lite.
And off times, I'll just throw him a 20 at the end of the night too.
Oh yeah,
You bookend
absolutely.
it. Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You bookend it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my veteran move.
There
That's
you go.
That's a
It's a good one.
absolutely great, fantastic pick.
Thank you.
I love that pick.
Take care of the
Is that-
bartender early.
Do you got
Out of the
another
gate.
one? No, Eddie's up.
No, it's up.
To me, before I make my pick, guys, I want to talk about Upstart. Because if you dread looking at your credit card statements, you're not alone. The weight of debt can be crippling, but Upstart can help you on your path to financial freedom. Dave, how important is that? To make
I
sure
mean,
you're-
it's my dream in life to one day be financially free, and Upstart is
There's a
helping
way
me
to
get
help
on
you
that
out.
path. Yeah.
There you go. So Upstart's a fast and easy way to pay off your debt with a personal loan that's all done online, whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high-interest debt, or funding personal expenses. Over 1 million people have used Upstart to get one fixed monthly payment with a clear payoff date. Rather than looking at a credit score alone, Upstart considers other factors like your income, current employment, and credit history to find you a smarter rate for your loan. You can check your rate without impacting your credit score in minutes for loans between $1,000 to $50,000. You can even receive the funds as fast as one business day after accepting your loan. So find out how Upstart can help lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/Eddie. That's upstart.com/Eddie, EDDIE. Don't forget to use our URL so we let them know we sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Upstart.com/Eddie. If you're paying for a wedding or you got some wedding debt, hit up Upstart.
There you go.
Right, Chief?
I love it. Great ad read.
There you go. Thank
Yep.
you. All right, it's to me. Did we? I think we're at a crossroads here, Carl. Did we talk about one that can't be drafted?
Ooh, what?
No, I don't. Take whatever you want.
So the worst things that can happen.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
just kind
like-
of said it. It's a cash bar,
Oh.
right?
I thought we discussed
I thought we
that.
did too.
Yeah.
So I'm fine not doing it. Like,
No,
I think it should
I think
be.
you could
Because
take
I
it.
think that is that's like a Saban and like a Tony Soprano and
Yeah.
like a Michael Jordan
Jordan.
that could slant the draft so much which way.
Yeah.
I'm fine not taking it. Is that everyone's down for that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that to get it off the table completely.
Because
yeah.
then if you take cash bar's worst part, I looked at. I don't even know where I would take. And we talked about this, like open bar. It's like, well, yeah, I'm going to.
Yeah, that's why we didn't do best because open bar would have been such a slam dunk.
yeah.
So just cash bar, it's out of the. People are probably screaming at their
Yeah.
phone or radio or whatever, being like, "How the fuck is no one
Cash
taking
bars
bar?"
Yeah,
are
because-
the thing you hear more about them.
Yeah. You don't actually see him in the wild. I think it's a
I don't
dated
think I've ever
thing.
been to one.
I
Yeah.
think it's a dated
I've
thing.
been to one.
I think you just assume if you're having a wedding, you got to have an open bar.
See, I don't care if I don't have it sent to my name and that this is going to sink me financially for years on end. If I'm getting married, I'm having an open bar
Thank
to
God for
save
Upstart.
myself
Yeah.
the embarrassment of being the guy that didn't have the open bar.
Yeah. Can you imagine? You'll never live that down.
Never. But
See-
you know what? I feel like that's the thing. You can't really bust balls. It's just in the back of everybody's head. Like,
Right.
I-
You can't bust balls because
Yeah.
it's like, all right, if that's what you can afford, okay.
Right,
You
right.
don't want to be rude.
But you're still that fucking asshole.
Yeah.
But then your gift, like you're not like, if you go to a cash bar, the gift, if you're giving cash, should be way different than, like, because I read that or had come to understand that the open bar, yeah, it's for the party. It's a nice gesture to the fucking 150 to 200
Yes.
people or whatever that gave you an entire Saturday.
Yes.
Of what
A lot of times weekends, hotels.
oftentimes when the weather's nice and all that shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you got to go find a babysitter. You got to organize transportation. You got to go to a hotel. You got to do all this
Dry
shit. You got to give a
cleaning.
gift. You
It's
got
like
to look nice.
weddings are expensive for
So
guests.
like it's almost like that. Your
Contribution. Yeah.
those people deserve an open bar.
Yes, I
Yeah,
agree.
You're buying their fucking drinks for showing up to your party. I don't know.
No, I agree with that.
Am I wrong?
He's right.
No,
Mr.
he's
C
right.
says
He's,
he's right.
She's shaking his head. You're right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. No, he.
No, he says the opposite.
What?
In New England, if you're from New England, cash bar.
What?
If you're from New England, cash bar, he says.
New England type area,
Whoa.
Pay for the first round.
So
Pay for the first round.
Pay for the first round.
The
Yeah, but when was the last time you were at a wedding?
I
not
gotta
to shame
say,
you, but
I got a lot of family. We're a big Irish Catholic family.
in New England.
Yeah, my both my parents are from Connecticut and like family.
see, but this
friend-
is what I'm talking about. When was the last time you were at a
Hold
wedding in
on,
New
let-
England?
Let's hear what he said first. He's not on the mic, obviously. So Mr.
Yeah.
C says that a cash bar is common in New England and
I haven't run across.
England, yeah.
Boston.
And you pay for the first round.
You pay. Yeah, they pay for the first round. You know, they don't want people all falling down.
I think this is an opinion that's coming out of the weddings he went to in New England in the 1980s. I honestly do. Dude, I know you. You haven't been to a wedding in New England in maybe 20, 30 years.
Okay, but
So yes, that's what I'm saying. I think this is a dated thing.
Look that up in Wikipedia. Cash bar with-
That's a dad comment.
Wikipedia.
Get out the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Cash bar.
I haven't seen that in like my
Big in New England.
yeah
Still
and
might be.
yeah I would
No,
She taking cash bar?
You know, like tons of money, but I mean, people,
Yeah.
yeah.
well, actually, hold on. This forum, 2014, almost all the weddings I've been to in the Boston area were cash bar. So maybe he's not completely wrong.
Wow.
Wow. This is on like a forum on one of these very popular wedding
Well,
websites.
it's because they drink so fucking much.
I don't know. I don't know.
All right. Well, regardless, it's off the table.
But not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or they just go beer and wine.
Maybe.
Beer
I've
and
seen
wine.
that.
I've seen that.
That's
yeah.
a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's a little
Especially if
different.
you're like 23 and getting married,
Yeah.
don't have money or careers
Did you make a
yet.
pick?
No, I have
Okay.
not. We spiraled on
We
that.
spiraled
Yeah.
on cash bars.
It's okay.
Hard.
It's okay. Man.
He had the ad read. He had the spiral happen. He still doesn't have his pick together.
Well, what do you mean? I was trying to.
Yeah.
I was in the spirit of the debate.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with song.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with I Want to Dance with Somebody. But
Yep.
Ooh, wit.
I had that.
Yep.
Had that. Great song.
Great one. There's another one that's really good, but it has a bad connotation, so I don't want to.
I knew that's what I thought you were going
Yes.
to go for. Ed.
You can't though. You can't. It's not a good wedding song.
It's played at every wedding.
I know, but it's awesome.
And it's a great song.
and it's like my favorite song. But
You grow some balls and drafted. No one
No,
knows what the
I'm gonna
connotation
st-
is anyways.
I'm gonna stick with Whitney Houston because it's an awesome wedding song.
It is.
It's one that everyone sings top of their lungs, no matter how
Mm-hmm.
bad their voice is. Again, going back to what makes a great song at a wedding, something that everybody can sing.
Mm-hmm.
Good pick, Ed.
Thank you.
Good pick.
Thank you. All right, Chief, you're up.
All right. This might be a controversial pick,
Oh, love controversy.
Here we go.
but I'm going with the worst part. I want to end live bands at weddings.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I knew
whoa.
Connor. I know Connor. I knew this would be.
Wow.
Connor wants like a 12-piece, horn section in his wedding.
I actually do have a 12-piece
I bet you do. I bet you do. But I'm
Well,
glad.
tell me why.
I'm glad it came on the back of Eddie taking "I Want to Dance with Somebody" because that is a banger. And those songs and "Shout" and all these songs you want played. Not every band can play all the songs that you want to hear that make
Okay.
a wedding party great. And then on top of that, if the wedding band is just not that good, it kills the whole vibe of the wedding. Like you're like flirting with danger just throwing a shit party, that very expensive shitty party because you want like the allure of having a live band. I've been to a good amount of weddings in my 35 years now. I think I've been to one live band wedding where I was like, that was awesome.
Yeah.
The other ones always leave a little something to be desired. Just get a DJ. The DJ will make it better every single time, and it'll probably, I think it's cheaper, right?
Yes.
The last
Yeah.
wedding I was at with Chief, he went up to the DJ all completely snot slinging drunk.
This doesn't sound accurate.
And
I've only
he-
ever been to one wedding with you. It was
Well,
Carl's.
I didn't want to say it was Carl's. And he requested R. Kelly.
Nice.
The Ignition remix. That's how
That's-
sick he is.
Jeez.
That's
So here's the
absolutely
only
false.
thing I'm going
Cancel.
to say about your ending
Yeah.
live bands. When live bands try to play certain current music that was very clearly made with other computer generated music and
Can't do it.
synthesizer,
Can't do it.
like a band can't generate that.
Yep.
So it sounds kind of wonky and
Throws
it just
everybody
isn't as
off.
fun. So that's why I think like if you have a band but they play stuff that originally was from actual instruments, if you stick to those songs, you can't miss with a live band.
But see, like that gets tough later. And I feel like you do all those songs at the beginning. That's why I like Shout in the beginning, because like all the old people are still like involved, and that's like another first third of the wedding. They're still involved. As you get forward, you get more modern music. You get a little Kanye out there. You get a little, you know.
Yeah, but see, I don't want any of those songs at my wedding.
It's not about you at your wedding. It's about your guests at your wedding.
You could argue that it is singularly about the bride and groom on their wedding.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
You could.
If
you
I want to
could
hear
stand to
Uptown
reason.
Funk, you will play Uptown
No,
Funk.
oh my
motherfucker.
God, there will be no Bruno Mars played at my wedding.
Good, but you understand the point. Like
Yeah.
if you're, it's your point too. Like if you want to have more modern songs and like have more of a dance, like
Then definitely you got to go DJ.
have to. And
Yes.
it's always a better party when there's
I
a
just
DJ.
think if you get a good band, there's just something about a good band that gives off a fun vibe.
Yeah. Quick story. My friend Neil, I love Neil, but he was like my first friend to get married, and like his wife's
Is
mother.
this former Chicago Neil?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Neil for Neil?
Just another guy named Neil.
Okay.
And his wedding, like they had a band, and it was at this extravagant like former country club on the south side. I can't remember the name of it, but if you didn't know how to waltz, you weren't dancing at that wedding.
That's terrible.
It was.
That's terrible.
In that, like, so that was like my first live band wedding experience, and it was just like only the old people were dancing. Like nobody danced except for like the grandparents. It was brutal. So I'm very anti live bands because they're just
live band's worst part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Polarizing.
Very polarized, but I want to take a stand on that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Stand for something. Mm-hmm. Carl, you're up. Sorry, Dave leaked your Uptown Funk pick. Apologies.
Sorry, just one more thing I want to say about that
Sure.
no live band.
Yeah.
Then you're totally reliant on the 45-year-old MC who's
you're not.
trying to make everybody have a good time. I was at a wedding this summer, and the dude was just, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be, ageist. He was too old to be an MC at a wedding.
Sure.
And it was just awkward, and he was trying to get everybody on the dance floor and saying weird things, and I don't know. I don't need that.
Well, I agree with that, but I think what you get to do as the bride and groom is that you get to set rules. You get to basically tell the DJ how to behave. Like,
Sure.
we don't want you doing the weird speeches or like, this is not about you.
Yeah.
And then you give them a list. Like,
Yeah.
play the fucking hits.
Yep.
And like, that's what we did for my sister's wedding. She was like the last wedding before the pandemic that we just like gave the guy like a set list. And
Yep.
it's like, here's the break for like a speech and all that kind of shit. And it's just, I just think the DJ weddings are always more fun than the band weddings.
All right, Carl.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna take a veteran move at the wedding, and this is a little bit more obscure. But if you do this and you pay attention to this, then you know where you're coming from. So when you're at the cocktail reception, you walk in and they'll say you can take your name card. You don't have to take your name card, but take your name card. And then you're doing the cocktail part, and you're catching up. What'd you think of the ceremony and all that stuff? And now if you're like me and you're a chatterbox, sometimes you're the last person to the table. So I have learned in my years, my veteran move is I am always the first person to put the jacket down at the table. When you get the number card. So like, hey, I'm sitting at table 22 or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wait. I won't go right away. But as the cocktail hour is winding down, I'll go throw my jacket over the best chair on the table and put the name card out and then put my wife's next to mine. Kind of mark my territory.
Table dibs.
But I don't do it right away. Yeah, so table dibs, but I don't do it right away when you get in there because then I'm walking around the reception hour without my jacket.
Right.
I'm
Right.
very
Like an
particular about taking my
Yeah.
jacket off at weddings. You don't take it off unless you have to sit down. It's too hot. And even then, I don't like taking it off.
I'm with you on that.
I just think it's kind of like you'll wait till we dance and I get sweating all this stuff. But like if we're dressed up, I'm wearing the fucking jacket until it's like, oh, wait a second. I know these tables are going to start to fill up.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's in my head. Get the fuck. I need the best
Plant a flag.
chair at the table because there's no worse. I should say this could have been a worse part is having the worst chair at the table.
Yeah.
And your turn
Cricking your
staring at
neck.
the fucking speeches and the whole thing's uncomfortable. Sitting there, I want a whole view. I want to be looking at the girls. I'm gonna be taking.
That's why you
the
get
whole
a good
fucking
neck.
thing in. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
I do have a good neck.
That's a good. So table dibs, like
Yeah, it's like table.
Planting a flag at the table.
Yeah, like.
getting first seat at table.
Yeah, like I don't know however to explain this. Let me think about it.
Okay.
But you know what I mean.
Yes, and I think it's a good pick.
Thank you. And
a
hopefully
veteran
there are
move.
people listening to this that have an opportunity to employ this move, or maybe you've struggled with where
Yeah.
you sit. Use your jacket, but don't get too aggressive with it.
White
pick.
Sox Dave.
I think dinner is an appropriate time to take the jacket off. By the way, I can see why. But if I look around and even one person out of a 200-person wedding's doing it, I'm doing it next. It's like a snowball effect.
I leave it on the whole time.
I'm
so sweaty that I sweat through. It's like a wet T-shirt contest. I
Yeah,
just
but you
keep
know what?
that jacket on.
I hear you in terms of, I guess, maybe being embarrassed that you're sweating and you're sweating through your shirt, but it's a wedding and everybody's sweating, so you almost have to say to yourself, I don't even care because we're all sweating.
right.
I'm sealing
like the
those
old-
juices in, and my nipples are covered.
It's like what did Belichick say? You know, if we're all wrong, but we're wrong together, we can always be right. Like if everybody's sweating,
yeah.
it's okay. We can all be sweaty together.
Yeah.
That was a little awkward, but you get what I'm saying.
I do. Yeah. I don't begrudge people who take their jackets off. I just leave mine on.
Are
Okay,
you
that's
take
fair.
the dress shirt off as well, Dave? Like white tee?
I'm in boxers by the end of the fucking
Tie around the head?
Yeah, oh yeah. like a little ninja.
Yeah. There you go.
All right.
You're up, Dave.
Worst part, missing sports games on
Ooh,
Saturdays in the fall.
I had this. It's a good one.
Missing college football.
Yeah, I think if you get married in the fall, it's slightly
Yeah,
inconsiderate.
you asshole.
I'm getting married in the spring.
I thought it was next week, you said.
He's going to one.
I'm going to
not
one on
his own.
Sunday.
I thought someone said it was
Can you
next
imagine if I was going to my own wedding this Sunday, that I was here
I
today?
thought you said.
It's a
I
quick
thought
little
someone said
jaunt.
it was next
Yeah.
week.
No.
No.
It's,
Okay.
It's,
It's in
it's
March.
It's in March.
I mean, did you not get your invitation?
I
Did you not
didn't.
RSVP?
I won't RSVP. I won't RSVP. I will never RSVP to a wedding again.
Okay.
We'll talk about that after the show's over.
It's a good
Honorable mention.
That's a good pick, Dave.
Yeah.
And that's like, I mean, I think of that crazy email from that Hawks game that was sent around like early Barstool days. Remember that, where the bride sent like, no one's watching the Blackhawks
yes.
Yeah.
in the
Yes.
heat of the Blackhawks like cup runs.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was just, you always think of that. It's a big tension point because like
Huge, yeah.
you got to be real respectful, you know. So,
I went to a wedding. I think it was New Year's Eve, and it was maybe or a few years ago, and it was when the college football playoff had both their games.
Yeah.
And I just said to Alex, my fiance, I'm like, I'm bringing my iPad. I'm going to put it on the table because I knew we were going to be at a venue with no
iPad
TVs.
you can't do. It's got to stick to
No,
the cell phone.
I said I don't care. I'm bringing my iPad. And then
It's all
next
about,
thing you know,
it's all about cons.
It's all about
Maybe-
cons.
next
So-
thing you know, there's 10 guys at my
Wow.
table because obviously it was you
Yeah.
know, two biggest games of the season.
Look at
for a
that.
guy who's getting married during March Madness.
Yeah,
See?
Tough.
I'd
Tough.
rather have White Sox Dave.
Are you
corner on
having
the
your wedding at a
ex-professional
Buffalo
athlete.
Wild Wings or something?
No, geez, I actually hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah, well.
Wow.
Quick moment, special shout out to grooms that go above and beyond to create little resources for friends at
Yes.
the wedding when
Yeah.
they know. Like my
Right,
buddy got
right.
married during the NLDS in 2016. I want to say it was like game 2, and he was like, "Hey, here's the situation, guys. Like, I'm still getting fucking married, and you're still coming to this fucking wedding, and we're still gonna have a good time. I have reserved a second room now at the country club, and we've outfitted it with flat screen TVs. The games will be on. There'll be beers in there and all that stuff. So, like, by all means, go in there, watch the game, hang out. Please don't spend the whole time in there getting fucked up. But, like, it's there if you
Yeah.
guys, you know, all
Check
that
in.
shit.
Yeah.
Great.
And then obviously
I mean,
there's fucking 25. Then next thing you know, the groom's in there with us in the
Yeah.
7th inning, like, come on.
Right.
Shout out Smitty.
I was in a wedding in September. I had to miss an Army home game, but luckily the Army played earlier in the day. I watched that game, but then at the wedding there was a room with 4 huge screens.
That's all. Yeah.
TVs playing every game that was on currently, and I was like, wow, nice touch.
And a bigger shout out to the brides that allow that to happen.
Yep.
Bingo.
Big time.
Bingo.
Very
That's
easy to
it.
say no to that.
So yeah, I will have TVs playing the March Madness games, Chief. Don't you worry.
Good. Hope so.
Thank you for making me think of that.
Yeah. Thank God I'm here.
Yeah.
You're up again, David.
Best tradition. I'm just gonna go keep it simple. Best man speeches. The first wedding for a friend that I ever went to was with a college roommate. I was 22 maybe. I was young, and he was a year older than me, and he got married like as soon as we were done with school. And his brother was like he had, I want to say it was 7 kids in his family, all like none adopted, all his actual parents, and every one of them were males. And there was the one black sheep of the family who gave the best man speech, and we watched it back like a year later. And so we watched it back at his place when he bought a house in his basement. And the camera that was about to record the best man speech panned over to his parents, and they looked like they had seen ghosts because of what they knew he was about to talk about in the speech. He was dirty. He was funny. He hit on every inside joke. He killed it. And a good best man speech sets the tone for the rest of the night. It is my favorite part. If you pick someone to give a good best man speech, and I wouldn't even like. Eventually, if I get married one day, I'm not gonna pick like my best friend to be the best man or my brother or anything. I'm gonna pick who I think will give the best man speech, because I want to be gracious to the rest of the.
I like that.
To the rest of the ceremony. And I want people laughing and loosening up and everything.
Because it's not about you.
Because it's not about me.
It's about the people in the room.
I went to a wedding where a guy basically did that move. Where it's like, my brother's the best man, but we're calling into the bull. He can't give the speech, so we're calling the bullpen for the speech. And it was like his like best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like when people like discredit the best man speech. So I'm very much with Dave
I've
on
been to
this.
a couple ones where I'm like,
well, bad ones are
wrap
bad
it up.
ones I get,
Yeah.
and like a long one, that's tough. But I'm not a subscriber to the theory that like all these speeches should be short. If you can fucking let it rip, I want you to let it
You
rip.
gotta be able to let it rip, though. Like, you gotta make sure it's good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
You
can't be sending a guy who throws 83 out to the mound in Game 7 of the World Series. I mean, this is a big fucking platform.
yeah,
You got to have the stuff to make it happen. But like,
You gotta be
when
Maddox.
it does click, when you get a good best man speech, it's Dave's 100% spot on. It changes the dynamic of the night.
I agree. The only thing is I get nervous when they go up there and they have like papers and their paper clips are stapled together. And it's like, oh, God. So
they're going to read
I'm not
it
a big
like,
prop guy either. And when I say prop, I don't want to see
Like a
note
visual
cards.
aid.
I don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
see
yeah.
a phone. I don't want to see any of that stuff. Like, I didn't. That's
Yeah.
not
Okay.
immediate points deducted.
I would
I know
agree.
public speaking's hard. It's nerve wracking.
yeah.
I think
You ever
having
done
the
it?
phone out is yeah.
Yeah. It's
like that's I've never given a
I was
best man
nervous.
speech. Have
Yeah.
you?
Yes,
I've given one.
I've given two.
one.
Yeah, I was nervous.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would be
Yeah.
unbelievably
Were you nervous?
Yeah, I was and wasn't. I was and wasn't. Because I loved it. Was like I was excited to do it because it was like a big room, and you know, everybody. You're excited to tell these stories about my brother. People hadn't heard. The part that made me nervous was that I had to go after. I don't know if it's the maid of honor, and hers was a little quicker and a little, so to say, it was just like really short, and so I didn't stand up next to my brother when I did it. I got up and I walked out on the dance floor and like went to the center of the room.
Crowd play.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a little bit more crowd play.
Yeah,
Was
the
going up to
motion
tables and
helps
stuff.
out for sure.
I definitely walked around the room a lot.
Yep.
All right, Dave. Good picks. Carl, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna go with best tradition. And so, is this my tradition or is this like a thing?
I think you should interpret it how you wish.
I love, and this is gonna sound horny, but it's not as horny as it's gonna sound. But I fucking love the process of like individually checking out each bridesmaid as they come down the aisle. And
Is
it's
this
like,
Dave's
who's that
thing?
one?
Like, I feel like
You know,
I'm
and
in
you're
the
sitting there and
Twilight
you're like,
Zone.
who's that? And it's like, oh, that's her cousin. She's in from California. It's like, okay, that girl's smoking. And
I
it's like,
think
who's
this-
that one? It's like, oh, that's her friend from third
So-
grade. You're like,
This
it's
pick
a nice
plays.
girl.
This
Like,
pick plays a
there's
lot
something-
different if you're a single guy.
Yeah, so it's
It
not like I'm
does
not like
not.
sizing them up to be like, ooh, this is the one I'm like. I mean, I'm too. There's
So-
obviously a point in my life
Yeah.
where it was like, ooh, this one's so hot. I want to have sex with that one. But like, you're
So-
not-
Scouting out the bridesmaids.
Yeah, scouting out the
I
bridesmaids.
wanted to say ogling.
Scouting out the bridesmaids.
yeah.
Yes.
Scouting
Now, here's the
somehow
thing, though.
seems a little more respectful.
I still do. Now I'm just talking to Mrs. Carl about it, where it's just like, well, what about that one? Like, ooh, I like the dress. And now all the dresses are different, but they're the same color and the same
Yeah, that's a
pattern,
big thing these days.
Because now it's like,
Yeah,
hey,
Alex
all
is
the
doing
dresses
that.
should be able to fit your bridesmaid's body types.
Yes.
Can we-
Because that's the other thing with bridesmaids. Dude, so often
she went
they get,
strapless.
They get put in these dresses that these girls hate. They're expensive. They got to pay to alter, and then they're never going to wear them again. I kind of feel bad for being a
tough.
bridesmaid.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Being a bridesmaid.
Real
Being a
quick,
bridesmaid is
though.
the worst.
Real quick,
Unless
though,
you're
can we-
married to one and they're gone all weekend.
Can we let our guy? Can we let our guy go to work here?
Go ahead.
I mean, yeah,
Can we let our guy go to work here?
yeah. It's one of my favorite parts of the wedding, but like, it sucks when you get sat down at a table with people you don't know because you don't know how sensitive they are to perverted comments. So, but if you're like with your fucking high school boys, like a table of 8 of you, and it's just, yep.
Okay.
Thank you, Dave.
Foul
Dave.
boy.
Thank you, Dave.
Come on,
He's a
you guys
foul
asked.
boy.
Well, no, I mean,
was
I think
thinking
it's,
foul
and then
boy.
there's
Great
like the
pick,
whole, because
man.
then at the end, like this past week, I was at a wedding, and Mrs. Carl stood up. There were like 10 of them in it. But I'm telling you, like every single girl that was coming down the aisle was a pretty girl. It was just like one after the other. And then you get like the 10 of them or 11 of them are all standing next to each other, and they're all in the nice dresses and stuff.
Right.
They're sitting there. It's like, it's a nice. It's
a nice
nice.
visual.
All these girls
Yeah.
get together. They're all pretty.
Yeah.
They're all trying really hard. They're all
Yep.
being really good friends and dressing up for each other.
How do
and
you
all
guys
that
find
shit.
each other?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then guys in the meantime, it's like, yo, go
Schlubs.
rent that tuxedo. And it's like, holy shit, half these fucking guys
Yeah.
should not be in public.
Speaking of bridesmaids, the maid of
agree.
honor speech is usually awful.
Well, because to Ryan's point, Chief's point, more often than not, you always see it's like, let me print out 3 pages worth of words, and people don't realize how long it takes to read
A long
3
time.
pages,
And
and it's a bunch of stories that nobody understands or knows.
Right.
And I know you're trying really hard to be sentimental, but it's just this is interrupting the
Yeah.
party.
They
and
could be
you're
good
keeping-
though, Dave.
Yeah,
That's,
I've seen good
Yeah,
ones.
I
It's
mean,
not
I'm not
like-
saying
come on.
it's impossible for them to be good. I'm saying typically they're filled with tears and everything, and it's like, I don't know what the fuck she's
an
talking about.
emotional
Was she
day.
crying? Yeah.
Yeah.
But when's the last time
a
you've
big
read
day
like
for everybody.
a standard printer copier piece of paper full of words out loud?
I mean, we read ads every day.
Okay, but I'm talking just like an entire page worth. We're skimming those. It's difficult to read off
Yeah.
a piece
I mean,
of paper.
probably the last time I officiated a wedding.
Well, okay, so you're guilty of your own sin.
No, I keep my ceremony short.
But what I'm saying is it's difficult to read without like coming off as robotic when
Sure.
you're reading like that. So
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, but I don't know. Like, I talk on a microphone at least 2 times a week. So as do you too.
but
So-
that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying just staring at a piece
I
of
know,
paper.
we get
and
what
reading.
I get what
okay.
you're
Yes.
saying. Yeah.
Yes.
Scouting.
Point being, quick little joke, something sentimental. Wrap it up. Congratulations, raise your glass, get out of there. Just
Yeah.
sit back down.
Yes.
Scouting out the bridesmaids, fantastic.
Great pick.
Awesome pick.
Thanks.
Chief, you're up.
I feel like all my like good hors d'oeuvres are gone, and I know what song I want. I think everybody has a song, right?
Dude, I still think there are 2 first
Yeah.
round
Carl does not
Hall
have a
of
song.
Fame, first ballot Hall of Fame hors d'oeuvres. Just saying.
Oh, hors d'oeuvres. I think
Yeah.
it's a song.
No, I think there's some songs.
Well, I
left
know what
for
I'm doing
sure.
with my song, and I know it'll be there. And
Not by a live band.
actually, they could do it. They could do it. A live band would be good at that song. I'll just go with a little caprese salad biter, like a little stick, tomato, piece of mozzarella. Like it's like so on brand. Like, I take it all the time. But it's not burrata. But I do look at. I like soft cheese.
Nah, it's
I like
good.
soft cheese.
It's a good thing.
And
If there's a food category, you always go soft cheese, I feel like.
I like mozzarella. I like burrata. But like that is another thing. Like if you look at my sweatshirt closely, you'll see stains on it. I'm a spill guy. So I
Yeah.
can't fuck around with these foods that are gonna cause me. Like I love. Has everyone taken a food?
I did.
I did.
Yeah,
food-
everyone's taking a food.
Yeah. So I don't want to have like.
Wait, so hors d'oeuvres are done?
Yeah, well, let's do it on
Okay,
let's
well,
do it.
yeah,
but
no,
like
I'm
you know,
saying,
like you're dressed up, and I know like I'm a spill guy, so I have very limited options when you're standing around with that little fucking napkin, and
Yep.
you're just trying not to spill on yourself. If you have a tomato and a piece of cheese on a stick, like you're getting out of that with no problem, and that's why I like it.
Yeah.
and I just think it tastes good.
No,
But-
I think anything you can get in your mouth in one bite
Yeah.
is a safe pick.
I also trust maybe more not putting the meat. You know, like it's the reception time. It's like if you could steer away. Sometimes meat can get a little.
Yeah.
Now here I am taking bacon wrapped dates, but like
That's different. Though.
they come out with like some of that chicken isn't.
Yeah.
And I don't know where that beef. No offense, Dave. I like a beef Wellington. I don't know how fresh.
No, I
that
don't even
beef
know if
is.
it's actually beef, but it tastes good.
A
So.
Capri
Yeah.
salad is.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, caprese, but yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
It's fucking fresh.
I call it caprice too.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't, you know,
Well,
say it however you want to say
Okay.
it. We're sitting next to Eddie.
Yeah, good
It's a
point.
guy who pronounces Mo Bamba.
Mo Bamba.
But yeah, that'll be my pick for
Caprese
that.
salad skewer.
Yeah,
Or Caprice.
or caprese.
It's to me, I need a tradition, I need a worst part. I think, actually, I'm going to go with the worst. And we kind of referenced it already, but I'm going to go a little bit more into detail. And it's just getting stuck at a bad table. Like
Yeah.
you can't wait for that first song to hit.
Yep.
You know, maybe it's someone you're doing small talk with.
I had small talk with people you don't know.
I mean, maybe it's the mutants at table 9. You know, it's just there's so many things that could go wrong at a bad table that it's, you know, someone's talking during the speeches and you're like, oh, it's not me. Like, you know what I mean? It's these assholes. Just getting at a bad table sucks.
Bad table
Yeah.
sucks. I'm surprised you went that way just because you are very good at small talk.
Yeah, but it
Just
doesn't
you can
mean-
be good at it
yeah.
and not enjoy it.
That's
like
true.
I'm good
That's
at
true.
it. I don't like doing it though
Yeah,
with
same.
strangers.
Yeah.
A bad
So-
table sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
But
really
also
does.
if you're like me, like I barely sit down at weddings.
Yeah, but the first part of the wedding where you're eating and then
You
you're,
have
you
to.
know. Yeah. You're not eating dinner at the table?
Now, I mean I eat I eat my meal and then I get back up and I go back
Keep
to the
it
dance
rolling.
floor
Yeah.
and keep it moving.
Yeah. No, I mean there's like once the party starts you don't have to worry about
Yeah.
it, but it can be tough.
What was your third round pick, Ed? I'm sorry.
It was I'm gonna dance with somebody by Whitney.
And Chief,
Houston.
I didn't get your first round pick.
The
Jewish horror dance.
Oh
Yeah.
So yeah, getting stuck at a bad table is the worst part for me.
Okay.
Cons, you're up.
I got 2 here, right?
Yep.
It's my last 2. Yep. So with worst part, we've kind of really already talked about it, so I'm not really going to take it. I was going to allude to something with speeches. I just think, but we've talked about it ad nausea here. Like anybody who has a long speech prepared and 4 pieces of paper, and you're making me sit there for 20 minutes, I can't have that. But I think that's already been kind of talked about. So for worst part, and I've kind of come out against this publicly in more recent times, and I think it's something that we just need to say like enough. Okay, nobody's doing it well. It's awkward. Nobody likes doing it when they have to do it. And that's the damn entrance for the wedding party.
Great
They
call.
do the freaking.
I fucking hate
They
those.
do the throw the bouquet, touchdown spike. They do the fishing reel. There's no more new moves. And it's mostly
That's white
I'm
people.
with it.
It's
Yeah.
white people.
Yeah,
It's white people.
Exactly. It's just awkward. Just don't even do it anymore. It's like, put the name in the freaking program. Say, hey, here's the wedding party. Have them all walk out together.
Listen, I
I'll
took
go
this as
one-
grievances.
Yeah, you did.
This was my grievance. I
Yeah.
didn't take it here because as an attendee, I'm just watching it. It would have been on my list if it was.
No,
wedding
I
don't
party.
don't
like
even want to
watching
watch
it.
it. I don't
Sure.
want to watch it.
I'll go
I think they-
I'll
I
go
think
one
they
step further. Fuck the wedding party. Now introducing for the first time Mr. and Mrs.
Yeah.
Whoever, done.
The wedding party doesn't even need
They
to be
don't need an
announced.
introduction. Just walk in, sit down, and then
You know
and-
what?
Yeah.
I am so sick of those things. In Chicago, I've been
They
to
suck.
in the last, call it 5 years, I've probably been to 25 weddings. I think that at least a quarter of them have the fucking Bulls from the mid-90s
Yeah.
intro.
Yes.
And no, you're starting lineup
Oh my
for this
God.
wedding.
Yeah.
It is at the
It's
point where I'm
cringeworthy.
fucking mad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like mad thinking about it.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
like,
mind
don't
that
fucking
because
do
that's
it
just
anymore.
the song. Like it's the goofy
But it's like,
shit. It's the
that is a
entrance.
goofy thing.
It's so played out at this point. And I mean, the
It's-
best thing that happens is
Cut
somebody
it out.
falls. That's the best thing that happens. But if that's the
I
best
almost
thing,
fell once.
when someone has to get hurt for it to be good, you don't
Yeah.
want that. So
No.
get rid of it altogether.
I'm rooting for those people like Terry
Yeah.
Seahawks.
So I'll
I
tell
think
you-
that's the worst part.
One
wedding
of my
entrance.
favorite parts of getting married was the part where, because you have to get done and then like the cocktail hour starts, like you're not with everybody while they're doing the cocktail hour, like the guests are
Yeah.
doing their thing. So like maybe you're taking pictures or you're with the bridal party or like the thing's kind of ended and you have your own little like party going on. It was like, oh, the wedding was nice and all this stuff. And then you're getting organized like behind the scenes to then like go out and join the party. So they're kind of, that hour reception or whatever is just so that people who went to the wedding can get fucking hammered while the bridal party and everybody else is kind of getting ready for, the formal reception and
Sure.
the speeches and the dinner, all that stuff. Getting away from the reception was like a wonderful time. And I think the reason this entrance thing exists is they need something formal to like reintegrate the bridal party with the party. To be like, hey guys, like the dinner's
Yeah.
starting, all this stuff. So there should be a better way. It's almost as if someone was like, hey, why don't we introduce all the people in the bridal party? And like, yeah, that's a good idea. And like, no one's come up with another idea since.
Yeah, because
Because it serves a very good purpose. Like if you're involved on the back end, like it's
People
very
like to
helpful to
know-
get we'll be over here.
people like to know, like, you know what I mean? I don't mind the introduction.
I hate it.
Like, same thing with the not site. You like to read who the groomsmen, the scouting it out. You like to scout it out. You
Yeah,
know?
that's
I don't
all
mind.
fine.
I think
But
Carl's
the goofy
point.
entrances.
Yeah.
the
sucks.
goofy
I agree.
wedding entrances or wedding party entrances.
But then if what you're saying is still do it, then it's just like, oh, it's almost like a high school graduation.
Yeah.
Like, here comes the best man. Here comes.
I don't even think you need to do it.
I
you could just if you and I'm with Carl a little bit in terms of reintroducing them to the party. Just say, here's the wedding party. Everybody walks out together. They sit down, and then you introduce by name the bride and the groom.
Yeah, I think that's fine. But I do think Carl makes a good point about like that. To me, is like, all right, now like it's starting.
Yes.
You know, like the party is starting, so there needs to be some kind of like checker flag or something, like some equivalent to
Yeah,
a
I'm
green
cool
flag.
with it. I just
It's
don't
like,
like,
everybody shut up now.
Right.
Here comes the bride. And it kind of builds
Take your
up to like
seats.
make the
Yeah.
introduction of like, and now the newlywed
starting lineup.
Williams. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I feel bad because a lot of our audience has probably come out to that song. So
Yeah.
I probably feel
Well,
bad. I don't think it's that bad.
If you haven't gotten married yet, you can make the conscious decision now that you don't have to do that, and you don't have to force your wedding party to do goofy entrances that's going to make everybody uncomfortable.
It's a good pick.
Connor, your last pick.
All right, I got to do a tradition here. And I come at this from the perspective of having gone to weddings for almost 20 years now. This is a new tradition, okay? So when I started going to weddings, this was an informal thing that just kind of materialized and happened. And now it's become a thing that is a staple for every wedding I go to. And that's the planned after party. Not just, hey, we're going to congregate at the hotel bar. There's like a place where it is. There's food served. There's more booze served, whether it's in another open bar. And I don't know, maybe this is kind of why I asked you guys in terms of like where you've been to weddings. This is big in the Northeast, specifically New Jersey, New York, where I am, a planned after party where everyone knows, okay, the reception's over. You get your burger to go, and you know, like, wait, it's 11 o'clock, but nobody's going to bed yet because we still got to go to the after party.
I like when the after party is like an hour later.
Yeah.
Go home and change.
So I actually had for my veteran move, having a change of clothes for the after party.
Yep.
Comfortable clothes. So,
Yeah.
Still a button down.
a planned after party. I think that's
Pretty
a
good.
newer thing.
Pretty good.
Like I said, it used to just be like people would just, keep drinking maybe in somebody's room. But now it's a planned thing. It's like, hey,
Yeah, I
after
like
the
that. That's
reception.
become a thing for guests, for
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
Yeah.
So that's my
We
job.
had the last one I went to, the planned after party was coolers of Miller Lite in the hotel lobby until they kicked us out.
But that's a plan.
I don't hate that either.
I like
It was
that.
nice, yeah, but
I
it was
like that.
organized. They
Yeah.
they literally had 5-6 coolers strategically
Fantastic.
put in the lobby, and we're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it
we
doesn't have
fucking
to. I'm not
packed
saying it has to be like another
Yeah, we're not-
bartender.
But
or-
everyone knew as they were winding down the wedding, was like, all right, we'll see you guys in the lobby. Like, I'm gonna go
Yep.
piss. I'm gonna go, put
everyone-
the jacket
Yeah.
upstairs.
Yeah, collect yourself, and always there's less formal food. Like we said, there's the fast food, there's pizzas,
Yeah.
there's something of that nature to just keep it very formal, very casual, or very informal. Excuse me.
All right.
So that's what I got.
I like it.
Planned after parties. To me, I need a best tradition. I'm gonna go with, I don't know how to word it, but I'm gonna the featured dances, like the father and the
No,
mother.
that's a good
dances.
one.
That's
Yeah.
a nice one.
Yeah, that
Father-daughter dance.
Yeah. So the father and the mother, like,
Do you tear up?
Parent dances.
You cry. That's when you cry?
Well, here's the thing. Like you said, it shouldn't, there needs to be some formality to these things. It's
For
not
sure.
just a fucking party. And these are better than the speeches because they're usually timed by 3 minutes and 33
Yeah,
seconds,
exactly.
And I just like seeing what people pick for the song choice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really do like. I'm
Yours
always
with your mom was the best one I've
anxious.
ever seen.
What was it?
Thank you.
Carl,
It was "Don't Stop Me Now" by Queen, with something else.
but it like got the usually those are like sentimental
Yeah,
and
slow
like
songs.
Carl's was like, all right, we're here to party.
Yeah.
that's
the
what
party
going.
maybe my favorite Queen song too.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
Don't
Great
stop
song.
me now, cause we're having a good time.
So yeah, I'm always interested to see what they're gonna pick.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Nice.
Chief, you're up.
So I'm down to song, and there's two, and they're both like big songs in my family. Like I have
You gotta repeat. You gotta take the serious song.
Do it.
The serious song.
from radio.
Yeah.
See that I'm between that, and then I'm between another one that you love.
I know. That's the one I was
Do
referring
it.
to.
Do
Dave.
it. Grow balls and do it.
I avoided
I
it
always do
because of the
that.
connotation.
Yeah. So this is our family wedding tradition. I'll take it. Our family wedding tradition. It's the last song at every family, and now it's even kind of bled into like the bigger family parties. I don't want to go home. Southside Johnny and the Asbury Dukes.
Wow.
It is a great song.
Let me tell you,
What?
not many people know that song.
I know.
It's a very regional song.
I understand.
done
He used
Awesome
to
song.
open for Springsteen, but my mom's family is one of 9, So it's like someone said, I can't remember what it was. Like it's really important for everybody to know the words. We have so many people in our family, and everybody knows the words. So everybody makes like a big ring around the dance floor. Everybody's arm in arm, and then you reach up and touch the sky.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go home. And that's like the vibe. Like no one really wants to leave the party, but it's time to go. I don't want to go home. Southside John the Asbury Dukes.
Wow, what a banger of
You
a
had
song.
to
Yeah.
do it.
Had to.
That's a great pick.
This is a great pick.
It's a great pick.
It won't get like play.
It won't get the love it deserves.
Yeah, but it's a jam.
But
And,
just
like,
know that I know it's a great song.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And Mr. Korean looked like he knew it too. I got a wink. That's
Yep.
good. That's
It's a
good
great
sign.
song.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's just that's like
Should I say the other one?
run
It's
around.
run around.
Yeah, it's running
Oh,
around.
that's a good
yeah.
one. I actually didn't even have that.
It's
but
a
that's good
horrible
one.
one. It's a god awful
Yeah.
one.
You
Well,
don't like Run Around Sue?
It's a fun song. I
It's
get your connotation.
A
but
song about a girl cheating on her fucking guy with all the other boys in town.
But you know what?
How
it's
do you
such
play
a
that?
fun melody that you
I
don't
know.
think about that.
It's
I
one of
know.
my favorite songs of all time.
Me
That's
too.
the song I was referring to.
You know
So-
when Run Around Sue was used really well was in Little Big League.
that movie
for that.
sucks.
No, shut up, Dave.
That movie sucks.
It's awesome in Roadhouse too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other,
Roadhouse.
the fucking Mr. Brightside played at every
All right,
wedding.
hold on, Dave.
But
Let's
that
get-
song's
we got a couple
fucking
more
about
picks. We got a
cheating
couple more picks.
on spouses. It's like, how do you play that at a wedding?
Carl, you're up.
Well, one more quick thing. If you listen to the lyrics, if I don't want to go home, it's a guy singing he doesn't want to go home to his wife.
Yep.
If you listen closely. But so not maybe the best one for a wedding, but that is what it's about. But it's just an awesome song, and no one really pays attention. You just don't want to leave the party.
Carl.
I'm gonna take a song. I have a couple of really heavy hitter, good dance floor songs. But I'm gonna pass on those to take a song that I think only exists at weddings.
I can't wait to hear this.
You hear the song, it's a classy song. It played at my wedding.
I think I know
This
what
is
you're
like
saying. I think I know what you're
this
saying.
is
I think I know
the
what you're
fucking wedding song.
Yep.
I'm taking Etta James At Last.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
not what I was leaning
That's
towards,
not
but
Yeah. It's like they don't. That the only time you're gonna hear that song.
That's
what
a good song.
What a voice on her.
There's
too.
very few
Amazing.
songs that are
Beautiful.
slow songs that still play well at weddings.
and it's
that's one of them.
I wanted a slow. I wanted I hear that song. I'm in a fucking tuxedo. Like my date's all dressed up.
Mhm.
We're at a
You're having a
really,
moment.
Yeah, we're just like having a nice. It's also popular for a walkout song or first dance song. If you don't know this song, listen to it, and I promise you, within the first 10 seconds, you will have like triggers of like, holy fuck, I'm at a wedding.
It's like it like makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up.
yeah,
Like that's like
she's
it's-
got
that's
life.
She comes
one of-
right in there,
She's good.
Yeah.
Good pick. White Sox Dave,
so
Mr.
what?
Irrelevant.
Mr. Irrelevant, my veteran move. I saved this for last because it's an unbelievably near and dear to my heart. Mine is Venmoing the bride or groom the money for their gift or whatever you want to call it. And I will never, ever give a wedding card again. Ever.
We got a
So-
card from Dave.
You did. You were one of the last.
Is he the last one?
One of the last.
We were just like, holy fuck, Dave gave us a card.
Did he write a nice note?
No.
Nobody
Probably just signed it with
but
my,
he
like,
signed
high
it.
school baseball
whatever.
number.
The
Nice.
fucking Dave gave us a card.
I gotta be honest. I think about this now, and initially I would say like, it's such a tacky move. But now I think like
Every
let's
single
say-
fucking time I do it, the bride and groom specifically thank me. I swear to God.
just for argument's sake, Carl, how many guests did you have at your wedding?
147.
So let's say you got 100 checks. The thought of endorsing
Signing?
and
Yeah.
then mobile depositing 100 checks,
True.
that just seems like a nuisance versus having
does
money in my
suck,
account.
But you go through, you open up the envelope, you look at the cash, you right at the
Oh,
amount.
no. You were about to say look at the cash, then look at the card, and then you were going to change it.
No. Because there's a bigger process at play here. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you go through your wedding gifts,
Yeah.
like each card by card, you should be like keeping a line in a
absolutely gotta keep-
spreadsheet
yeah,
of
right.
Dave Williams, X amount of dollars. And then you have like the address ready to go
Yep.
and the thank you card. So you're kind of like making a note and keeping track for like who gets the thank you card.
My
'Cause
buddy-
the thank you card follow up.
Yeah.
The last
Yeah.
wedding I was at, he sent me a text message instead of a follow-up card.
That's what I was going to ask that next.
Here,
yeah.
I'll read it off. It was
No,
probably-
I actually,
like
so one of the weddings we went to this summer, we forgot to leave the card. Well, no, I say we. She forgot to leave the card. It was in her purse the whole time. Sorry, just dropping the ball on there. But then she asked me like,
Unbelievable.
hey, we'll just throw that check away. Can you Venmo them? They could use it on their their honeymoon right now? And I said, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
This was the last. So this was in July. Dave, respecting your decision for the wedding gift transaction to remain cardless, I'm sending you this text as a formal thank you for the money that was Venmo'd. I'm glad you enjoyed the wedding and excellent food. I had an awesome night and was so grateful for the attendance. I now consider my obligation to write a thank you card to you fulfilled. Sincerely, Kevin and Stephanie.
I like that.
Perfect.
Did you
I
did you
loved
reply
it.
to that? I feel like you should just do like the thumbs up thing.
I gave him the handshake thing.
There you go.
The handshake emoji.
I think there's just some traditions that are just falling by the wayside
My
as
only
we
thing
move
is
into
I-
technology.
We're in a digital
I just
age.
like
Yeah.
to have the money separate.
That's
Like,
fair.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just like that gets lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, I
and-
can see
Well,
that.
he's
I know what
also
you're
like
talking
a
about.
big cash guy.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm like that's where like
I know
for
what you're saying
instance,
now.
White Sox Dave. Every
much cash
time,
do you have on you right now?
every single time, honestly, just $100. Just $100.
Okay.
But White
I-
Sox Dave, every time we go to a casino, he was like, Ed, let me get some cash. And I'm like, Dave, I specifically only bring enough cash to what I want to spend.
Right.
Because once I hit the ATM, I might not make a great decision.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So,
Yes.
like, if I give you some, then that takes out of my gambling allotment. And then, like, you know.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
give your
yeah,
I wanna be
a
responsible.
governor for yourself.
Sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's
Gee.
what, like, I like separating everything.
Yeah.
Even if
That's
Dave will
fair.
Venmo you
Smart.
right there on the spot.
And I always do. But
Yes, even
But then
Yes,
at Ed's
but
point,
then
it
he
kind of
still
gets
has to go
lost
to
in
the
the
ATM.
shuffle.
Yes,
Then
exactly.
it gets lost in the shuffle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
the
You have to
worst
let him win a hand
part
first next time.
Yes.
for
then
me
I would.
of the wedding experience, and this could have gone drafted, I guess, but it's not technically but it's for me. I don't think there's anything sincere about a card at all. You go to the nearest Jewel or Mariana, you get a fucking card, the first one you see that says congratulations on your marriage. There's no heart or anything that goes into it. It's a waste of fucking time and $5.
I don't disagree.
It's
but
a
then why not
fucking
write a
waste
letter?
of time. Because I'm
That's
not
sincere.
but they don't give a shit about that. Like I would not care if you were like, oh, thanks for
Carl
that
is a
time back.
typewriter. He'd love it.
Sometimes I'll do the typewriter.
But
letters for
that's
weddings of
not
people
me.
I like
Like,
That's a nice
lot.
That's not
I like
me.
that move.
I
that-
really gotta like you though.
Yeah. Like
Right.
that's just not me. You get I text message you, yes, I'm coming. Steak entree. And then I give them I'll give it to I'll leave the Venmo open too so everybody sees it just so it's like documented.
Yeah.
What about? Do you take dates normally to weddings?
Depends.
I hate
The last couple I
dates.
haven't.
Yeah, I never really took dates.
I always hated taking.
I
a
just
date
like
a
to
wedding.
go
go
by
somewhere.
myself.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
one girl in my
Fucking
like
hated
mid 20s. We were like
Especially if the girl
wedding
doesn't really
buddies.
know everybody
Yeah.
that's there.
Oh, no,
I
Then
wouldn't
know.
it turns into a babysitting
Yeah,
session.
you feel
Well, and it
obligated to
turns
sit
into like
there.
a big litmus test for
Litmus.
litmus test
Yeah.
for that. If like it's
If that's a
early in a
yeah.
relationship, it's
It's now not early in the
It's not
relationship.
worth it.
No, it's definitely not worth it.
Because then she's just looking at you the whole time. You're at a wedding and she's just looking at you.
She's
like,
getting those
just
marriage
sizing you up. The whole, it's
juices.
just like
Like-
it's just a bad place to
Yeah.
put unless you are actually in a committed relationship with someone
Yeah.
and it's like a known +1. But when you get invited to a wedding, you're a younger guy, and you're like, "Oh, I got invited to a wedding. I do have a +1. Like, I
Don't
should try
use
and
it.
find somebody
No,
for this wedding.
it's a
like,
waste.
Turn
Dude,
around and go home."
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna dig for it because it was in like last March, but I got a text with this girl that I went out with like twice. Like actually, it was last summer, middle of pandemic, and I stayed in touch with her a little bit. But she texted me in like March, and she works at Oprah now. But she's like, "Hey, what are you doing tomorrow?" I'm like, "I don't know why." She's like, "Do you want to be my date to this wedding?" And I laughed in her face. I'm like, how many fucking guys told you no before you got to me? She's like, no, like not that many. I'm like, so what number am I? And I literally ended up like interrogating her on the whole. I tweeted the conversation too. That's how ridiculous
I remember
it
that.
was.
I remember that.
I don't remember what number
Yeah.
were you? Did you ever get to the bottom of
I forget exactly how it went, but
Eight?
I'm like, dude, you're fucking crazy if you think I'm going. It was a family wedding too.
Yeah.
A family wedding. I'm like,
Tough.
that?
absolutely
I
not.
think I agree with like not wanting to bring the +1. I'll be the +1 all day long.
Yes.
Being the +1, like there's no pressure. Like,
I don't know, bro. There's a common misconception that all weddings are fun. That's not the case.
I think they're
Sure.
They're usually just fun if you just know most of the people there. I
Yeah.
think
I
it's
don't even think you need to.
No,
you
all
meet
right,
a
so,
Bobby Balls at
listen.
the table. You start talking. You know, like it's fine.
the only way though, if you get lucky and then you meet some people. The last wedding I was at, I met some people who ended up being like really cool.
Yeah.
But that's such a crapshoot. Because I've also gone to weddings where I don't know anyone and there was no one to meet and it
Yeah.
was boring as all get
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
I'm with Ed. Wedding, it's not a 1-for-1. Wedding
Yeah,
equals
there's a
fun.
misconception.
Yeah.
I suppose. I think I would say in my experience, I've had fun at weddings. Like I would say,
by and large,
90%.
Yeah.
90. It's not like a toss up. It's like a 90% chance you're gonna have a good time.
But most of that 90% of those weddings are the people I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't go to really strangers' weddings very often.
Shout out Glenny Bowles.
Shout out Glenny. Yeah.
Wild move by Glenn. Though.
This is not
like
an
it.
invitation to get invited to strangers' weddings, by the way. If
Yeah.
you are getting married the next
I don't
couple
need to
weeks,
be there.
I can't go.
Yeah.
Someone sent us actually an invitation to the 4 of us,
Yeah.
and I bought him like a spatula from Barstool Chicago
nice.
off the
nice.
registry.
That was
I forgot what I
thoughtful.
bought him.
I sent
You-
Anthony Rizzo a spatula for his wedding.
That's where I got the idea from. Yeah, I was like,
When
that
I
was
was-
nice. They're like, it's our favorite podcast. We listen to all the
That
drafts
was
together.
nice.
Yeah.
We're getting married.
You
And,
didn't
like,
ask me if I didn't
and,
want
like,
if I wanted to go or
Kansas.
not.
I didn't get the opportunity.
I saw it
to
was nice,
decline
but
either.
Yeah.
Yeah, the spatulas I think is like you don't know you need one until you have one. You don't know how effective they are until you start using one, and it's like
I
they
have
don't
one
go anywhere
spatula.
either. Yeah, it's like you're not
It's-
gonna. That thing's with you.
That thing-
Spatula's
yes.
a great gift.
Robust.
Actually, I don't even know if it was a spatula.
When I was younger, like when I was just
Egg
coming
beater?
out of college, didn't have a lot of money, and I couldn't afford to really just go splurge on a big check for a wedding. I would always go to the registry, and I always got the toaster.
There you go.
I was the guy who got the
Smart.
toaster.
Hey, Con sent me a nice present when I moved into a new apartment. Out
That's
of
nice.
nowhere.
What an ass kiss.
It was a peeler. Sorry, I bought him a peeler.
Oh,
Okay.
what
Yeah.
is
That's
like
nice, too.
potatoes?
Yeah, like a peel. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
a
nice.
garnishing feature.
No, that's nice.
Yeah, why
Credit
not?
to you.
I appreciate people listening to the show.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to read them all out. We'll do some honorable mentions. We'll get out of here. Might be the longest draft ever. Con shout, crab cakes, tipping the bartender early, wedding entrances, planned after party. Eddie, grabbing 2 drinks before dinner / speeches. Shrimp cocktail, I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston. Getting stuck at a bad table. Mother and son / father and daughter dance. Chief, the Jewish HORA dance. Ordering food to hotel before leaving. Live bands, caprese, salad, skewer. I Don't Want to Go Home by the Southside Johnny. Carl, bacon wrapped dates, really long church ceremony, getting first seat at the table, scouting out the bridesmaids, At Last by Etta James, White Sox Dave, Living on a Prayer, Beef Wellington Bites, Missing College Football, Best Man Speech, Venmoing the Gift. Any other traditions? I don't hate the bouquet. I like to see the
toss.
the girls getting all riled up, and then you see that, and then you instantly turn to whichever dude she's with that caught it.
Yeah,
And
that's always a moment.
It's always kind of funny.
I like
Yeah.
a priest that hangs around the reception and mixes it up with people.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice touch. Having
like
a cocktail loosens the collar a little bit.
Yeah, I'm always a sucker for the father walking the bride down the aisle. That usually
Yeah.
brings the
You get
chick
misty.
right out.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
I-
guys-
Well, oh yeah,
Yeah.
very much.
On
very
that
much.
note, I think the father of the bride speech is usually pretty good
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, those are
enjoy that.
usually good. Those
Yeah.
are usually good. I also had do you guys know where the tradition of a best man came from?
No.
So it was like medieval times, and you didn't even necessarily pick somebody in your family or your close buddy. You picked like a strong dude because he was there in case somebody was going to try to screw up the wedding
No.
and
way.
like attack the bride or steal the bride. Yeah, and he had to be the one to like fight him off.
Wow,
True story.
that's kind of sick.
yeah.
mean-
So that's actually one of my traditions. I was just gonna say just the best man in general.
Just get like
Yeah.
a fucking hole.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get- you
Just
got
That would have
Brave-
been good.
Getting
Yeah, that would've been
Braveheart.
good.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Veteran
It's a
moves.
good fact.
Yeah, I'm super surprised that Irish Goodbye didn't get drafted.
Mm.
Because as you get older, that becomes more of a thing where you're like, all right, I got to get out of here. I got like fucking 9 buddies from high school here, like a couple guys from college. Like this is going to take me longer to get out of this fucking room than it is for me to like spend
Yeah.
time here. So
Yeah.
as I've gotten older, it's very easy just like, hey, we're just
Yeah.
leaving.
I got timing your exit right to be like the first ones at the hotel bar, so you got a good situation there.
I said,
Yeah.
being the guy who has the cooler of drinks in your room for when
Yep.
everyone gets there, having the cooler, maybe a few drinks on the shuttle to the wedding. Always the guy with the cooler. You want to be friends
Yeah,
with that
having
guy.
beer ready for after is crucial.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
You
Or
don't want
if
to be
you're
shit out of luck.
The hotel beers before.
Yeah.
If you're when you come from the let's say there's 3 venues in play. There's a hotel, there's obviously the church, the ceremony, and then the reception's at like 6 p.m. and you're in the like that dark gray
Yeah.
area.
Yes.
I love when there's the person, the group of friends who's like, hey, I fucking went on Yelp. There's a great little gastro pub
Yep.
Yeah.
down
That's
the
great,
street
too.
Yeah.
from the venue. We're gonna go set up. I got a table for 12 or whatever. You know,
Great.
come on.
I
Yeah.
had
Those
that as
people are the
worst
best.
things
Killing
too.
time.
Well, the
Worst
worst
thing
thing's
is a
the
bad
gap.
timage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
4-hour gaps.
I actually don't mind that gap for a fall wedding.
Yeah.
So if you go to the pub beforehand and then you watch at least one game and then you head over and then you have the cocktail hour and you get ready to go.
Yeah.
We also kind of alluded to this, just like standing where the food's coming out, so you get first dibs each time the guy's coming out with a fresh plate of crab cakes.
Yeah, that's a good
Yep.
move.
Yeah.
That's a good move.
Yeah.
So that's that. Other worst
Oh, I'm
parts.
sorry. Let me. The last one I'll say, and then we can continue on. What do you guys think about this one? Pacing yourself as a veteran move, so you don't black.
Fuck
Wait.
that.
So you don't black out, before the wedding reception ends, and you can make it to the after party, and you can, enjoy every bit of the good time.
I'll tell you, Cons, this is why I rejected Dave's comment about me at Carl's wedding. I have a hard time staying drunk because I'm on the dance floor and I just sweat out all the toxins. So
I'm the same way.
usually
So I'm
get a
pacing
little
myself by default.
Yeah, I get a buzz during the cocktail hour, and then I kind of just level and sweat it out.
Because I don't want to go home. I don't want the night to end.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel.
I
you,
don't. I
man.
want to reach up and touch the sky.
There you go.
I
He
feel
knows.
you.
Yeah.
Any of the worst things? Bad DJ, bad food, bad entertainment. Your story about the Sinatra thing is really funny.
I don't want to tell that right
Oh,
now.
sorry.
Yeah.
We can bleep that out. We can bleep that out.
I got two. Having to make an early flight the next day.
That's brutal.
That
Yeah.
usually
I
sucks.
actually am a fan of the Friday wedding.
I love
Yes,
Friday
I
weddings.
love Friday
Yeah.
weddings. I love Friday
Me
weddings.
too.
People want to talk and they forces you to take a day off of work.
Big
Whoever
whoop.
hated taking a day off of work?
Right.
And then also kind of similar to my, wedding entrances when typically this is only going to happen with a DJ, but they play a song that everyone, like the cha-cha slide or electric slide. That's not fun.
Okay, so in my honorable
I
mention
don't
songs,
hate that.
I have Cha-Cha Slide. I
All
love
right.
the Cha-Cha Slide. I also have Mambo number 5.
I got Mambo number 5.
I didn't want you to say it. I wanted to be the one to say Mambo. I knew you were going to say Mambo
See,
number
Dave,
5.
you can confirm.
And then Dancing Queen by ABBA. I love Dancing Queen. When that comes on, it kind of brings a room together in such a playful
So
way.
I
feel
thought
like
you were
that's
going to
often
say,
a last
what's
song,
that?
too.
What's that?
Dancing Queen. That's
popular.
Yeah.
for the final.
But I thought you were going to say The Way You Look Tonight.
I wish we had a Frank Sinatra representation on our
Yeah,
board here. But
yeah.
the
Great
thing
dinner
with Frank,
song.
it's
Great
tough
dinner
because
song.
if you go, there's so many. Fly Me to the Moon, The Way You Look Tonight, Mac the Knife.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of great Frank.
I had this is, I think, again, regional. I think this would only be enjoyed mostly at Jersey weddings, but Born to Run. I think that's one that everyone's going to really get on the dance floor for.
What about having to wear your military uniform? Do you have to do that for weddings?
I've
If
had
somebody
to
gets
do it.
married from West Point, you guys
Yeah.
all have to get
Hey,
dressed up.
Connor,
and
I
shit?
got a question for you
Yes.
real quick.
Is that okay?
It's
So-
fine because it's no different than wearing a suit.
And
really.
that thing still fits? You keep that in the closet, or how does that
It's
work?
I think it's in the closet at his house somewhere. Yeah. It's and I don't know about fitting though. I don't know. I'd be pretty close, I think. I haven't tried.
And you can't
Yeah.
wear that casually, right? You get
No.
in trouble if you were like
Wait,
going
can you don't wear? You can still wear that even though you're not active.
If I really wanted to, no one's gonna yell at me.
I
could
didn't
do
know what
that.
the-
But
what
no,
the
I
tradition
I don't do that.
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah. What were you gonna say, Dave? Yeah.
So
Don't do that.
we discussed the song "Run Around Sue" a
Yes.
few minutes ago.
Yes.
And you said you love it, right?
Sure. All right. Yes.
Great song.
Go ahead.
You know where I'm going with this, don't you?
Go ahead.
Do you know where I'm going with this?
I think so. Go ahead.
When you didn't know the connotation to that song, and just no less than a handful of months ago, you were shitting down my throat about "Born to Run." Me not knowing the connotation.
Born in
of
the
that song.
USA,
Or
Dave.
Born in the USA,
That's
whatever.
two different songs.
Okay, "Born in the USA." You know what I'm getting at, so don't even try to change the subject and move the goalposts.
Well, no, I
So-
think Born in the USA is more well known that's not the same connotation that everyone thinks it is.
Let's let Dave
versus-
finish his point.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying,
All right.
Kind
of a decent point, but not really.
Okay.
I also
rivalry
had
continues.
another slow song that I think is great, "Unchained Melody" by the Righteous Brothers.
Okay.
So, and then if you're doing DJ, you got to. There's so many good '90s songs. "Only Want to Be with You," Hootie,
Yeah.
"Everybody" by Backstreet Boys,
Twist and shout.
Twist and Shout. Yeah,
I love Love Shack. It's a big fan.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I
I
thought you-
submitted that to a wedding recently. Mrs. Carl comes in. She's like, "Hey, part of the wedding, we have to." The bridesmaids are like, "We're all throwing in a song, all from," and she's like, "I don't know what song." And I instantly went Love Shack. I
That's
don't
a
know
great
why.
one.
I was just like,
It's
I'm
awesome.
sure everybody's pulling, but if Love Shack comes on and it gets the
Oh,
floor,
yeah,
big
it
moves
time.
absolutely
It's a big
does.
family song for me.
How will I know another great Whitney
Yeah.
Houston song for weddings?
Yeah.
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 Friends in Low Places always play.
Yeah.
Wagon Wheel.
Wagon
Yeah.
wheel.
Any other are your two hors d'oeuvres?
All right, I'm very surprised that these didn't go. Number one, Pigs in a Blanket. And here's why I say Pigs in the Blanket.
Yep.
Because whether you're at like a nice wedding all the way up to a super fancy wedding, it doesn't matter. You'll still see pigs in the blanket more often than not. I mean, they might look a little different, but it's still the same concept. Like it might be puff pastry versus, like a little more lower end pigs in the blanket. But pigs in the blanket, I think, is a good pick. And then also, and Carl, I thought you were going when you say bacon wrapped scallops.
Well, classy for me.
That's I'm not.
Got to work extra hard for those scallops.
I do
come right
love-
off the tree.
I do love scallops, though.
All right.
I just spent the last few minutes trying to look for this. This is the conversation I had with this girl. This was in May. She goes, "Are you busy tomorrow?" I go, "Working on that now. Is there something I can do for you?" Because I knew she was just going to ask me for something.
Just
that she
read the
needed.
conversation.
And she goes, "You can come to a wedding with me if you want." And I responded, "How many dudes had shit going on before you landed on me?" And that's where the screenshot ends. But I was like, "Are you a fucking crazy person?" The answer is no.
Yeah, she asked pretty desperately.
Yeah.
That was the most desperate thing I've ever heard.
But the type of chick that's asking you,
What did she look like?
Yeah.
Good-looking girl. She works at Uproar.
Oh, okay.
We all know how the staff is there.
best chicken sandwich, 0
It is.
stars, hated it.
Oh, also one other thing. I did some market research, and Mr. Korean, it sounds like you are incorrect. I have 50 plus replies to the New England cash or open bars, and every single one of them said it. They're all open bars.
Huh. Maybe that's a dated
Open
thing.
bars.
Again, I did a quick Google.
Yeah.
You put out a right now?
Yeah,
He did.
I- yeah.
He did
to
a
start-
poll.
But
Yeah.
you put out to people 18 to 30.
Yeah.
Our audience.
Yeah.
I mean, that's me too.
All right.
Yeah.
You know what's another newer hors d'oeuvre that I've seen that's really amazing? But again, it gets into this. There's a lot to hold on to. A grilled cheese with tomato soup in a shot glass, and the grilled cheese is in the shot
I
glass.
saw that it was while I was doing research.
It's unbelievable.
I've
Those
never
are-
seen that.
Those
That
are
sounds
great.
delicious.
I've
Yeah.
had it. I got the tomato soup on my tie. So
See, but
I
that's the
disqualified
thing.
it.
That's the thing. It can get out of hand,
What's
and
wrong
you got a
with you?
shot glass.
Are you eating out of a trough?
No, I actually got bumped into on that. But
Okay.
I was holding
Well,
it,
that's
so
not
it's
your
like one
fault.
of those things where it's just like I just don't want to risk it. But it's delicious. It's a great idea.
Yeah,
I even like the meatballs.
Oh yeah, meatballs I had too.
Another tradition I feel like I've been seeing more of recently is during the cocktail hour, the bride and groom will have like a specialty drink. Like
Oh
this-
yeah, the specialty cocktails. Yeah, I like that move.
Yep. So that's a good one too.
Long Islands. Get
Yeah.
everybody all sorts of.
This might just be a tradition. My tradition.
What?
This, I was just gonna say this might just be a me tradition.
Yeah.
But maybe you guys can relate. Overeating at the cocktail hour, because there's so many little
Yeah,
things.
Careful
Yeah.
about that.
Next thing you know, you've had 30 bites of 30 things, and you're like, "Oh my god, I'm so
Too
full."
much.
Probably
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
reason why I have a hard time getting drunk
much.
at weddings.
That I think that no, that's everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, all right. Cons, thank you. It was a pleasure.
guys, thanks for having me.
Mr.
As
Korean,
always.
thank you for sitting in.
Wow, a lot of fun.
A lot of fun, he says. A lot of fun.
Did you learn anything about any of us?
He learns he's never coming back.
Did we miss anything?
No, you make me feel young.
All right. But thanks, everybody, for listening. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you then.